Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another week. This is the AM show. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I hope you had a great weekend and you're ready for quite an eventful week. Today we're starting off with the AM news. Of course, we shall bring you some sports updates, news review, and this is your first stop for news, insights, and analysis as we start what promises to be quite a very, very busy week. So much is happening across the country, from the presentation of the report on the August 6th helicopter crash to the Security Council today, to the vetting of the nominated Chief Justice and the upcoming budget presentation later on Thursday. It is sure an eventful week. But for now and today, we'll turn our attention to matters arising in our big stories. The government has announced a 9% increase in the minimum wage effective January 1. Are workers happy about that? Well, we'll get to know. What does it mean for businesses and the economy? Despite the minorities' pushback on the vetting of the nominated Chief Justice, the Appointments Committee of Parliament is set to consider the process later today. What are the legal and political implications? You want to stay with us on that. And how do you as well assess the performance of the OSP, there's a special prosecutor? So far, are they delivering on their mandate? Well, joining us today for our discussion is Tanko Computer, Executive Director, Consumer Protection, and of course, Victoria Bryce is a lawyer and entrepreneur. Tanko Computer is CEO for GFEC, Gloria Boedu, lawyer and women's rights activist. Of course, this is quite a packed table this morning. You do not want to miss it. We're coming to you live from our studios here in Kukumlemle, but you as well can join us across the world on myjoyonline.com. Thank you so much for choosing us this morning. Of course, it's the best breakfast show on television. And I am MFA Akosi-Adeti. Denisia comes up shortly with the news.
Hello, good morning and welcome aboard to AM News. My name is Denisia Pomaije and our very first story. For years, clean water has been a daily struggle for the people of Ewoya. Families trek long distances, sometimes paying for water they could barely afford. But that struggle may soon be over thanks to a new water treatment system built by Atlantic Lithium. Emmanuel Jivenu reports.
In Ewoya, getting water is not just a routine chore. It has been a daily battle. For months, the community's only borehole broke down, leaving residents without access to clean, safe water.
Last year, you should come by no yellow gallon, yet 25 cedi. Oh, yeah, what about you 10 cedi?
That cry for help caught the attention of Atlantic Lithium, the company developing Ghana's first lithium mine in their community. The company has now constructed a modern water treatment system, bringing safe treated water to the heart of the community.
We are mine in a manga says it's true. Oh, yeah, you so papa because in soon some war, we are Hano, an infant Mahano, or Yada.
The chief of Ewoya says even before mining begins, the company's social investment is already transforming lives.
Atlantic Lithium, why the mother at the papa to them, or down the way, and you saw,
At a brief ceremony, the Infantman Municipal Chief Executive Stanley Aqua commended the company for the gesture.
Actually, what was the account of the year school? We enter not little for one poverty, the Sabio was a simple, was the Ilba. Nasa Sabio achievement in Locoda. Eh, your bottom your business school, your business asupiti. Na Nina has a battle.
The best friend is there, on my first year, na on my bone buying. For a yomodia, and yet Atlantic Lithium, Atlantic Lithium, ever supported almost. The above buyer say, project, no, I buy best support here, my project, no. aba na yetimi yaye more of this ama your communities.
Meanwhile, the chief of Ewoya appealed to government to rectify the Ewoya lithium project.
Here we are for rectification and lithium for because you hunde so we rectify the lithium for now. Wababua Ewoya mine and see a straight abide there. Omomadiana na ombre lithium from and I hear we are mine. Yes, Rabem. No one electrify. I don't know one for more. Yes, Rabbi.
The people of Ewoya say the water treatment system is a turning point, a rare sign of progress amid delays in the ratification of the lithium project. They are hopeful that once the project is approved, the same partnership that brought them clean water will drive lasting development for the entire community. Emmanuel Jivenu, Joy News, Ewoya, Central Region.
Well, that's some respite for the people of Ewoya. Moving on, the Ghana Institute of Foresters has vowed to resist the proposed LI 2501 if government fails to conduct proper consultations to ensure mining policies protect forest reserves and also biodiversity. The new legislative instrument laid before Parliament to replace the controversial LI 2462, which was criticized for permitting mining in forest reserves, has sparked fresh concern. The foresters insist they will oppose any policy that undermines their mandate to safeguard the nation's forest and are also calling for broad stakeholder dialogue to craft a stronger environmental law. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku reports from the Institute's 28th Annual General Meeting.
Before its recent revocation, LI 2462 passed in 2022 granted the President discretionary authority to approve mining in forest reserves, a provision that drew strong criticism from environmentalists, civil society groups and sections of the public. They had warned it opened the door to large-scale environmental degradation. Fresh data from the Forestry Commission shows that at least 400,000 hectares of closed country forest covers have been destroyed owing to primarily mining operations. Government, in fulfilling its promise, has recently revoked the law, introducing a new legislative instrument, LI 2501. At the 28th Annual General Meeting of the Ghana Institute of Foresters, President of the Association, Dr. Nangtongma Bukari, noted that they would resist the new law if it doesn't seek to protect the forest.
So if they repeal, what are they bringing on board? They are suggesting that, or they are saying that they are bringing LI 2501. Have stakeholders been consulted to put their inputs? So GIF is saying that once they do it, implement it, and we read through, and it's not in tandem with our mandate, we will resist fiercely, like wounded lioness.
In recent times, there has been growing insurgents in mining communities where illegal miners attack foreign guards and other security forces. The Forestry Commission is demanding their conversion into a paramilitary force to militate against any illegal operation in discharging their duties of protecting the forests. Dr. Hugh Brown is the Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission.
So we are looking at a situation where the Forestry Commission will transition from a purely civilian institution to become a paramilitary institution, so that we can be able to equip our men adequately to confront the current challenges. Because currently, a forest guard typically goes to the forest with a cutlass. How do you go to a war like this carrying cutlasses when these people are carrying assault rifles and pump action? You know, we have a rapid response team, but that's also limited.
Environmental journalist Erastus Asaridonko highlighted the need for a strong political will to fight the menace.
If you look at NIMOS, they need resources to work. Currently, they are not getting the resources. So it's like creating an agency that is supposed to fight illegal mining, but it lacks the logistics and resources to be able to move forward. That is what is happening. They are also getting backlash from their own party people and influential people within government. So until that is addressed and the president makes a very staunch statement, concerning NIMOS and resource them adequately, it will be like we are dancing around the issue.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
Now, moving on, the president of the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, Dr. Kofi Eric Edu, is calling on the government to prioritize the recruitment of over 50,000 unemployed medical laboratory scientists in Ghana. Well, he made this appeal at the association's 2025 Annual National Congress in Tamale, where he highlighted the huge burden of unemployment on these professionals.
The Congress team enhancing laboratory resilience, combating emerging infectious disease and AMR through emerging technologies, collaboration and research brought together laboratory professionals to discuss challenges facing the sector, including inadequate logistics and limited job opportunities. Speaking at the event, the president of the association, Dr. Eric Kofi Edu, emphasized the role medical practitioners play in quality healthcare delivery in the country, urging the government to employ more people in the sector.
The Doctor of Medical Laboratory Science program, which graduated its first cohort in 2017, represents the future of our profession. Yet graduates remain unemployed in their specialized roles. More concerning is the fact that since 2021, there has been no clearance for new scientists to join our workforce. This employment freeze is not merely a career concern, it is a public health emergency in disguise. With existing staff overwhelmed and underwhelming numbers at critical posts, the quality of diagnostic services is compromised. Precisely when we need maximum capacity to address emerging infectious diseases and antimicrobial resistance. We cannot speak to laboratory resilience when our human resources foundation is crumbling.
The Director for Laboratory Service at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Ignatius Awimbono, noted that lists of graduates have been submitted to the ministry.
In fact, all those names we have that are unemployed have been submitted to the Minister and the Minister of Finance. So no name has been left out. They are now to decide the quota that should go. You know, since 2020, people have not been employed. 2019, half of the people were employed. So we have a backlog close to 5-6 years that need employment. And the numbers are well known. I think if government is endowed, it should be able to clear all of them. But even with all this clearance, we will still not have sufficient numbers in the system. And we are aware as government, and that will be factored into. They are going to be paid from our taxes. So when the taxes are enough, more people will be employed. So they can take care of you, take care of your brother, your sister, who goes to the health facility and has to wait for 3-4 hours or sometimes no test at all, and is treated blindly.
The Northern Regional Minister's representative, Baba Ahmed Abdulrahman, highlighted government's effort to improve laboratory infrastructure and disease surveillance systems.
We are deeply honored that the city of Tamale has been chosen to host this important national gathering. Your presence here brings not only expertise and innovation, but also a sense of pride to our region, which continues to emerge as a vibrant hub of culture, hospitality, and national development. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Tamale and the Northern region at large is proud to play host to this August Assembly.
Let's now move to education. Infantsipim School has been named among the 4 senior high schools selected to benefit from the government's new Robotics Engineering Laboratory Initiative, a policy reviewed by the Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Ernest Kofi Davis, during the school's 149th anniversary and speech and prize giving day ceremony.
Yes, Infantsipim School has stood as a beacon of academic excellence, a reputation reaffirmed by its recent victory in the 2025 National Science and Math Quiz, while the school clinched its 4th trophy and successfully defended its 2024 title. At the school's 149th anniversary and speech and prize giving day ceremony held under the theme Yanananom Butaipa, 149 years of sustaining legacy, building excellence. Headmaster, Very Reverend Ebenezer Kwabna Edu, held in Fansipim School as a citadel of excellence and discipline.
I am highly convinced that the founders of this great institution believe that education without character is incomplete, that intellect without integrity is hollow, and that success without service is meaningless. This belief remains my compass. It is what continues to make Fansipim not just a school, but a living testament to what faith, sacrifice, and vision can achieve. We pray the government of Ghana to speed up processes of completing all stalled Get Fund projects.
Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Ernest Kofi Davis, in his address, shared some advice with parents and students and highlighted ongoing efforts to strengthen ICT education at Fansipim.
I wish to admonish current students to work hard, to continue to position the school as a center of excellence in quality secondary education. We have witnessed some level of indiscipline and school violence in some senior high schools in recent times. I'm glad that Fansipim School has not been in the news for indiscipline, and I hope it will remain like that.
He also announced that the school is among 4 senior high schools selected to benefit from the government's robotics engineering laboratory project, making it the first in the central region to be included in the initiative.
The government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Education and GES, is setting up 4 robotics and engineering laboratories this year in support of government's STEM agenda. I'm pleased to announce that Fansipim School is one of the 4 schools to benefit from this initiative. Fansipim School will also be the first school in Central Region to receive the Robotics and Engineering Laboratory in recognition of the school's commitment to excellence in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissel in Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
Now let me bring you some business news. Economist Dr. Edu Owusu-Sarkodie is urging the government to maintain its fiscal discipline as it prepares to present the 2026 budget with a specific focus on improving the agriculture sector. He emphasized that the agriculture sector has immense potential for growth and job creation, and that targeted investment in this area could yield significant returns. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Sarkodie highlighted the need for the government to strengthen fiscal discipline, citing the importance of transparent and structured fiscal management.
Fiscal, I think so far, I am not too old, but I've lived long enough in the Fourth Republic to see how the fiscals have usually disturbed the other variables. So if we continue to be disciplined, we know we are in the IMF program, and next year by May they'll be exiting. And so if they exit the remaining years in 2026, what are we going to do to ourselves as a country? We should continue with this fiscal discipline, keep the target. For me, I will propose that we continue to keep the targets set by the IMF, the target that we've set for ourselves from 2023 through the IMF program. Even if the program ends, we should not change the target. We should continue with the fiscal target, the primary balance target, the fiscal deficit target, in the bank, the GDP growth rate target, monetary growth target, all the targets that we are set by IMF within the IMF program, ECF program, we must continue with it. We should focus on agriculture. If nothing at all, we shouldn't be suffering from hunger. We should have enough food. We should be food self-sufficient. So we should focus on agriculture. And because when you are talking about inflation, we have food inflation and non-food inflation. Probably the non-food inflation like energy bills, utility bills, you may not have too much control over them. But as for food, we have enough arable land. We should be able to be sufficient. Right. We should be able to produce to feed ourselves and keep food inflation very low.
Well, Fitch Solutions is anticipating a slight weakening of the Ghana cedi to the US dollar before the end of 2025. The local currency has appreciated by over 29% against the American greenback in the retail markets since the beginning of the year and is on course to appreciate against the dollar for the first time in its history. Here's a report.
According to Fitch Solutions, it expects most major sub-Saharan African currencies to remain broadly stable through Q4 2025 and into 2026, extending the calm observed year to date. They added that they anticipate only a slight weakening of the Ghana cedi, Zambia kwacha, Nigeria naira and South African rand by the end of 2025. The UK-based firm is, however, predicting about 8% depreciation of the cedi against the dollar. It is therefore predicting 11 cedis 70 pesos on the interbank market by the end of 2026. Fitch mentioned that while modest depreciation against the US dollar is likely in the coming quarters, currencies will remain far more stable than during the volatility experienced in 2023 and 2024. It continues that the price of gold will remain elevated due to policy uncertainty in the US, anticipated interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve, and ongoing geopolitical tensions. However, stronger reserves from high gold revenues, the Bank of Ghana intervention and protecting export competitiveness will limit prolonged cedi gains.
And that's it for AM News. But if you want more news, I know a place. It's myjoyonline.com. My name is Denise Apomaije. Up next is sports.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to AM Sports here with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. Kumasi Asante Kotoko have ended Accra House of Oaks unbeaten run so far in the Ghana Premier League. Morphin Donzo scored the only goal in the contest. That end, Abdul Karim Zito's men all 3 maximum points at the Accra Sports Stadium on Sunday. We go for the highlights of the match. Now let's take a look at the results of matches played on March Day 9 in the Ghana Premier League. Just gone by is how Kumasi Asante Kotoko won 1-0 against Accra House of Oak to end the Phobians' unbeaten run so far in the competition. Young Apostles won 3-2 against Bechem United. FC Samatex, winners of the Ghana Premier League about 2 seasons ago, won 1-0 against Sweden All Blacks, who made a return to the Ghana Premier League after 16 years away from the competition. But Sake Holy Stars 1-2 against the current defending champions of the competition, Bibiani Gold Stars. Heart of Lions, led by Bashiri Hayford, they won 1-0 against Brekum Chelsea, 2012 winners of the Ghana Premier League. Karola United drew 1-1 against Dreams FC. So these are the results of matches played
on March Day 9 in the competition. In fact, Mediama SC drew 0-0 against Adriana Stars. That game was played on Saturday. So these are the results of matches that were played on March Day 9 in the Ghana Premier League. Now let's take you to the Accra Sports Stadium and also to the Bukom Sports Emporium, where the 2025 FMB Accra Marathon took place. Those were the starting points of this year's event as it concluded at the Dansoma Kifit Club. Athlete Nukwasi, he came the overall winner of the competition in the 21 kilometers race. My colleague Lawrence Bedu was there and has details in this report.
People came out for the 2025 edition of the First National Bank Accra Marathon, which took place on Saturday. In its third year since the partnership with the financial institution, the event organized by the Dansoman Kifit Club saw a huge turnout. University of Ghana student David Nakusi successfully defended his title after finishing first in this year's competition. Nakusi, who won the men's 15-kilometer race last year, was once again the star of the marathon as he beat off competition from Ishmael Atta to retain his crown despite an increase in the distance to 21.1 kilometers. Speaking after the success, the former Adisadel College student was proud with his achievements.
I am so excited for taking my title again. Yes, I am so happy. The starting was very good, but I know today I was competing with my seniors. Farah, you are a good athlete and you are competing among your colleague. At least you have to take time and then use your mind.
In the female category, Kenya's Florence Kichira came first and was closely followed by Ghanaian duo Mariana Edu and Joyce Ayaba. She praised the toughness of the competition despite the challenges.
First of all, I would thank God for the chance, and then the race was a bit competitive and the weather was challenging. There was a lot of heat. In the first place, I feel good competing here. The weather is a bit challenging, but you have to be courageous to face the race.
The event featured 3 categories of runs, including the junior run, the 21.1 kilometer race for both male and female, and the 10 kilometer corporate race. Collins Mensah, who won the male 10 kilometer corporate race, says it was an easy work.
You know, it was an easy work for me, honestly. It was an easy work without any competition. So I'm hoping to, this one is a 10K, so maybe next year I'll try the 21 and see. Yeah.
In attendance at this year's event was the Member of Parliament for Ablekuma West, who revealed plans to support the event.
It's one of the oldest marathons, you know, but then as we had our conversations today, I think we just need to find a way for them to get more sponsors so we can have the full-fledged marathon, maybe like from Nungwa to Dansoman, you know. But then, so far, I'm happy and I'm proud, and that's why I'm here with my chief executive, so we can see how best we can also augment what they're already doing to also grow sports and healthy living in Dansoman.
The organizers also praised this year's event while promising an improved experience in subsequent years.
With all honesty, that we have built upon last year's successes. We draw so much on our gains last year, and probably this is where God has brought us. We are so much elated, very happy that at the end of the day, we've been able to pull through yet another successful event. And we couldn't have done it alone without the support of our lead sponsors, First National Bank, support of the media and other partners who came on board. We are very, very happy, and we hope that come next year, 2026, probably we're going to do it better and larger.
The winners were presented with cash prizes and souvenirs from other sponsors, while participants were given consolation souvenirs. Over hundreds of students were involved in this year's event, with schools such as Accra Academy, Legon Presec, St. Mary's Girls, WAS, and Armed Forces all being involved in this year's event.
That is a report put together by my colleague Lawrence Bedu on the 2025 Accra Marathon. We move on to other stories and talk about this one where Joy Sports journalist Muftahu Nabila Abla, he's been crowned the Ghana Journalists Association Sports Journalist of the Year for the second year running. His story, Streohan, which talks about how a young man born in the United States but currently domiciled in Nalerugu in the Northeast Regional Capital is impacting lives through his tricycling. That story was adjudged the best among the lot that were submitted for this year's GJA Awards, which took place in Menchia in Kumasi on Saturday.
You may call it coincidence, you may call it divine design. He previously also served as Minister for Youth, Sports, a ministry which has now been rechristened Ministry for Sports and Recreation. He will be presenting the award for the best in sports reporting. And Your Excellency, Your Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the winner. At the multimedia group. Yes, please keep the applause going for my Muftahu Nabila of my at the multimedia group. Congratulations to you. And he is receiving this award for the second time running here at the awards. Shall we congratulate him with a big round of applause? Congratulations to you, Muftahu Nabila Abdullah, and added to his exploits in sports reportage.
That is the awards ceremony that took place in Menchia Palace, where I was adjudged the best sports journalist for the second year running.
Good morning once again, and thank you for staying with us. This is the AM show. We're about to review the news, but quickly, I'll run you through most of the headlines in front of the papers. Just quickly, we'll start with the Daily Graphic, and of course, big one will deepen press freedom. The president spoke at the just-ended GJA Awards, where Asidiba tops it all. 2025 GJA Awards would go to the other paper. Okay, behind it, the Daily Graphic Sports Kotoko Edge Hearts intense super clash. That game, I was supposed to be there. It was quite an intense one. Let's go to the custodian this morning. Minority hangs dark clouds on Bafo Bonny's vetting. You know that despite the pushback by minority in Parliament, it looks as though a little later today, the appointment committee of Parliament shall definitely sit to consider the nomination and, if possible, approve of him as Ghana's Chief Justice. Story is in the custodian this morning if you're interested, and private sector government must partner in nation building. KGL Alex Dade speaking as well in front of the custodian. JB declares bid for NPP chairmanship, and this changes the whole story as quite an experienced one. Mr. John Boydu, former NPP General Secretary who held that role for years, has declared to want to be chairman of the race. We'll see how all of that will pan out in the subsequent weeks. But Africa needs ethical homegrown AI strategies. Chief of Staff as well has been speaking, and waste managers suspend strike after government assurance. You recall that the association that bridges the gap between government and the local government by helping sanitation in this country were threatening some strike, but it looks like the government is giving some assurances, and so they've suspended it. We shall definitely be following that. Graphic business, MTN honors entrepreneurs at SMEGA 2024. Story is on page 8 and 9 of the business, the graphic business. And IMF warns against corrupt contracts. If you're interested in that story, you've got to grab a copy of the graphic business this morning and take a read. And behind it as well, Rwanda DR Congo turns football into diplomatic battlefield. Interested? Grab a copy. Daily Guide this morning. SML petitions Mahama over GRA contracts. You recall that they had a press conference on Friday, and this some of the things that they have been saying, quite a detailed one, because the OSP said that it was looking to recover 125 million Ghana cedis from SML. Manasseh Zuri, who's been championing this cause as well, thinks that if the OSP looked a little deeper, really, it may be considering to recover more than 125 million Ghana cedis. Quite a detailed read is in the Daily Guide this morning as well. And Parliament grills CJ nominee. If that gets to happen today, we've seen the communique circulating that it may be around 11 a.m. today they shall be sitting. What does that mean for the minority? We shall be looking to see. And yes, the publisher, search for a new CJ, question to answer. Parliament vs Justice Balfour Bonny, despite minorities' objection, and Jobwedi runs for NPP national chairman. And police investigate coach over alleged sodomy, 16-year-old victim dead. I don't know if you have seen this story, because the Ghana police has been giving an update following the death of a 16-year-old young footballer and the story between him and his coach. After he had died, there's some videos that are circulating, despite the case already being investigated. That video that had popped up on social media gives a new twist to the case, and the police has been given an update. But if you want a detailed update, if you grab the publisher, you would get the story. And Mahama School's journalist on news reportage. News Center, a local marine insurance to boost CD, create jobs. IBEG has been speaking, and OSP got it wrong. The MSML has been speaking as well. Ghana extend aid to Jamaica, Cuba, and Sudan. Story is on page 4. And the News Center and everybody as well is celebrating Godwin Asideba, named as 2025 DJ Journalist of the Year. Story is on page 3, and this is the Economy Times as well. The publisher this morning, SML Defense Contract Legitimacy. Story is on page 2, and their lawyer, Sefas Boyo, was speaking at that presser. Details of that presser is on page 2 of the Ghanaian publisher. And we already told you about how John Boydu, the former General Secretary of the NPP, has also entered the chairmanship race. And so I'll quickly go to other newspapers if that is all. I bet that is all for the newspapers this morning. I shall attempt to bring you myjoyonline.com to see what's happening there. What's the news review without myjoyonline.com? Let's see. Okay, try it again. Definitely. On myjoyonline.com, our top story this morning, government raises public sector salary minimum wage by 9% for 2026, and then it takes effect January 2026, January 1, I think, 2026. We'll definitely talk about this. It's one big issue we shall be reviewing on our desk this morning. And administrative neglect cripples Ghana, UK scholars with 36 students stuck without renewal letters. That's also on myjoyonline.com. You would just want to go on that week, and then you on the page, there's so much happening. The government spokesperson as well on his social media has been telling you how you should be getting ready for the week. It's quite a busy week. Says that this week could shape Ghana's future. The helicopter tragedy report shall be presented to the Security Council. And as well, the Nkokon Kitting as well will be launched by the President, and the 2026 budget, what to look out for on Thursday. Let me quickly wrap up with City News this morning. Yeah, the big one. We are looking forward to that. Acting Chief Justice Balfour Bonny faces appointment committee today. Get ready for that. That's all your headline for the review, but to join us on the desk, let's discuss it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for staying with us. Let's start our review. I just hope that you joining us this morning, you definitely had a good week, but this morning joining us is Kofi Kapito. He is Executive Director, Consumer Protection, Victoria Bright, lawyer and entrepreneur. When we're lucky, we shall be joined by Tanko Computer. He is CEO GIFEC, and Gloria Boydu. She's lawyer and women's rights activist. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm interested in how your weekend was. Mr. Kapito, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was quite, unfortunately, a few people passed. So a very good friend of mine called T with the East Legon executives. Suddenly passed. And, you know, our age, especially Ghanaian men, who are of the view that maybe going to the hospital is not, or going to check their health is not something that they should pay attention to. We go, if we are even advised, we tend not to follow the advice. And I think time has come that we should take the doctor's advice or the health provider's advice a little serious. So that was how my weekend was. But apart from that, it was quiet.
I'm so sorry to hear about that loss. And I'm certain that people watching you today, at least for the first time, will take their health quite serious. If you go to the hospital and they give you a review date, please just go. It's really for your health. But Victoria, how have you been? How's your weekend?
I'm very well, thank you. And my condolences.
Well, so.
Yes, it was fine. I had a quiet one. Just went to church and then came home and have family visiting at the moment. Yeah.
Well, so a lot has been happening. It's quite an eventful week. We expect that today, later, the nominated Chief Justice will be vetted. If the minority gets to be part of it, we'll wait to see. There's been some pushback. And one of the things they are quite concerned is that why not just allow the removed Chief Justice, at least, finish all her redress seeking in court, and then you can proceed with the vetting. We'll talk about that. But most importantly, minimum wage increased by 9%. I'm quite curious to hear from you specifically, and if you look at the trends over the years, if this 9% is enough, or is it just political rhetoric? So really when they increase it, we get to see that people really feel it. That's okay, 9%, so now I can buy two balls of kinky if I used to buy one. I can't wait to hear from Kofi Kapito on that. Which one of them has your attention?
Both, because I have a vested interest in the basketball Boniston. He's my brother.
Oh, I see.
Yes, you know, so that is a personal thing. But on the wages, you know, 9%, I would say, is in the right order, but just like Oliver Twist, can I please have some more? The problem of Ghana is not about increasing wages by 9%, 10%, or 15%. It's about actually finding how to pay Ghanaian workers what is known as living wage. There's a minimum wage, and then there's a living wage. The living wage allows you to meet almost all your bills till you wait for your next paycheck the next month. In advanced countries, that is what people do. When you are paid, you can pay all your bills. And then you might not even have something to save, but at least you know you have another paycheck coming in 30 days or in 2 weeks that you can pay your bills. In this part of the world, they pay you, and the next day you go to tell somebody that, can you borrow me some money? You know, I owe you. There's always, you know, and I think government should look at the actual cost of living, okay, and pay people their living wages.
Can the government really afford that?
Oh, well, some people have done it, so why not us? Yesterday I was watching this documentary by something, Vadamaya, what's his name?
Wademaya.
Wademaya.
Yes.
And he was in Botswana.
Okay.
And I was surprised. Botswana, as we think Botswana is no place. Botswana only has diamonds. Now look and see what they've done with diamonds. We have everything. We are the most blessed nation on earth. But we are the most messed nation on earth. Because if somebody only has diamonds, you have gold, you have cocoa, now you even have oil. And we have the human resource.
Yeah.
And we can't do anything about Ghana. You ask yourself, what is really, really, really wrong with us? So if other people can do it, even within Africa, Why not us? Because why? You know, if you have lived a little bit, seen Ghana after independence, coming into what we've come through to today, you ask yourself, where did we go wrong? Because when I was growing up, when I saw Ghana, Ghana somehow was heading towards the right direction.
Where we regressed?
Big time. Big time. In all aspects. Instead of building Ghana, we are building individuals. And that is the problem for us today. Somebody gets an opportunity even to add on something to Ghana. He doesn't even care about Ama Ghana anymore. Now, I don't think there's Ama in the Ghana as we all used to call her. Because it's become me, 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 me. And we need to look at it and say enough is enough. Let's see what we did in the past, what made us better, and what has actually gone wrong that we are in the mess that we are. Constructing just a small road, how long does it take us? How much money do we put in it? And then even when we finish, when the rains come the following year, we have wahala. Roads are not supposed to be to deteriorate within a year. That's not how we build roads. But in Ghana, every road that we build, maybe the motorway was able to survive for some time, yes, but even the motorway is dying.
Now I see some constructions going on there.
Well, let's see what will happen. Let's see what, if when we had motorway, even United Kingdom didn't have a motorway. I was in England when they started the M25. Yeah, we had the motorway way back. What have we added on to the motorway? We had motorway before UK had M25. What have we added on to it? Nothing. But if they tell you the amount of money that we spent under the pretense of constructing a road, you'll be surprised. Pakwesi Indum used to say that since independence, Bole to Fofolo Sola or whatever, every budget, that road is in there.
Really?
Yeah.
it's a good thing you have pointed out. Maybe we'll look into that one. I'm quite curious about it.
You know, so
every year it's in the budget.
He says every year it's in
I'll
the
look
budget.
out for it on Thursday. Maybe it would.
Well, let's see. I'm quoting Pakwesi Indum.
Okay. Okay.
So we need to think about Ghana. Okay, and stop doing what we are doing to Ghana.
You talk about cost of living. I'll come back to you for follow-up questions. But Vicky, if you look at the trends, I'm just looking at it here. 2021, a little over 12%. 2022, 13.53%. 2024, 18.15%. And then currently 19.97%. We're going to be increasing it by 9%. How significant, if you look at the trend, how significant is this year's increment?
Well, what I'll say is that it's a welcome relief. You know, it doesn't solve the problem, but it's a good step towards solving the problem. Because the fact of the matter is, mentioning the figures you are mentioning, and we all know what inflation has done over the years, it's eaten into real wages, not just for public sector workers, but for everyone, you know. So I would say that this move definitely provides some cushion. Government is providing some cushion. But the real crux of the matter is productivity growth. Because without productivity growth, we're just expanding a wage bill that's already, you know, it already consumes a good portion of our tax revenue. So we need to balance all these things against efficiency, productivity growth, and performance. You know, not just be increasing salaries for the sake of increasing salaries. We also have to demand a lot from our public sector workers, because we've all been to some of these places, and I wouldn't call them super efficient. Yes, there are individuals within each of these institutions who are very good and very committed to their work. But on the whole, well, we've all seen what our SOEs and other people are doing in the public sector. So I think productivity growth and measurable, some kind of impact and measurable efficiency would also go a long way. If they did that, then Ghanaians would be on the streets ourselves campaigning for them. So it's a balance. But I'm happy that government has taken some steps. You know, 9% is good, but inflation, as I said, it provides a cushion. It gives some kind of it's some relief, and it's a welcome relief.
Well, I mean, Mr. Capito, one of the things you mentioned was cost of living. They're not paying the Ghanaian worker so that they're able to live very much. What they take, they use to offset their bills and all of that. You go back to just waiting for another month for your salary. But usually when government increases the minimum wage, by whatever percentage, do you see it very implemented in the private sector?
Well, the private sector is the private sector. This is government workers. So the private sector probably even pays their workers a little better than the government workers. So that is a separate thing. I know some people are making some good monies in the private sector. I don't think you can get, maybe apart from the governor of Bank of Ghana and the CEO of Cocoa Board, I don't think you can compare most CEOs to the private people.
Yeah.
So it's a different thing. But the cost of living thing that I'm talking about, look, cost of living, it's a whole line of stuff. Rent, transportation, health, school fees, even feeding.
Yeah.
Okay, so even today, we were all happy when the dollar came down to, I think it's about 11 or 12 cedis, right?
11 point something. Yeah.
But the question is, a slice of plantain, roasted plantain is still 7 cedis.
It is. You actually, it's quite apt. You're not wrong at all.
No, I'm just saying, coconut is 7 cedis.
Yes.
Okay, so the question is, if the excuse was because the dollar was going up, and that's why even the coconut seller is justifying that you should pay 7 cedis for his coconut. So how come the dollar is coming down and it's not reducing? In Ghana, 90% of the time, everything that goes up never comes down. So what do? Are we doing voodoo economics in Ghana? In other jurisdictions, even 0.0%, you can feel the effect all the way down. Here, 9%, I can guarantee you that by December, okay, you hear the workers complaining because everything wouldn't have been reduced. The same thing, rent, now they are taking more than even the 1 year. If people used to be merciful and say, okay, don't worry, give me 1 year. Now they want 2 years. So how does, you see, there was a guy called Kwekuba, I think that was his name, back in Liman's time. And he did something wonderful. He went to parliament. He was a parliamentarian from Kwau. He bought breakfast, he bought lunch, he bought dinner. The average meal. Then he took it to parliament and said that time they were paying Ghanaians 3 cedis a day. So he said the cost of the breakfast was 1 cedi. The cost of the lunch was 1 cedi. The cost of dinner was 1 cedi. So the Ghanaian worker, the pay for the day, he alone uses it on his meal. So what about his children, wife, and other bills? Then you coin the word Ghanaians are magicians.
I see. Yeah. I see. That was quite practical.
And he did it. You see, I tell people that Yes, I don't want to get into the macro, maybe Vicky might do that, and the micro and all those things. I'm talking about practical Ghanaian living way, where he that wears the shoes feels the pinch. Not somebody sitting up working with figures and numbers. Because at the end of the day, if your figures and numbers does not translate into my pocket, I don't care. And that's what is happening in Ghana.
So basically, Vicky, we can, of course, be happy about the 9% increment. But if government still doesn't do what it has to do, sellers, traders will still trade and sell at a high price.
But this is the problem that all Ghanaians face. And that's why I was talking about productivity growth.
Yeah.
You know, because if not, we will forever be going round in circles. It is a fact that most Ghanaians do not have enough to make ends meet. They don't, you know. So, and when this, when the currency rates, you know, when RCD appreciates, the dollar goes down, and all the rest of it, these guys still don't reduce anything. Yes, there's always a window, because the argument we heard when this trend started was that people had already bought stuff at a certain price, at a certain exchange rate, and therefore they needed a little window to offload those things, and then prices will come down. But here we are, still 7 cedis for plantain, you know, this whatever, cocoa thing, and then, you know, coconut, as Kofi said, is 7 cedis. So we need government to find a way to translate that into workers' pockets.
It's interesting because, Mr. Capito, so just recently we're just hearing about a grain glut. We've heard it so much that it feels as if there's so much food in the country, and yet people say that they don't have access to food.
But there isn't even a glut. I heard some of the discussions over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's not a glut. They are actually producing what we need. So, you know, a glut suggests that they are overproducing. But the fact of the matter is that listening to these farmers, they are not overproducing. They are producing what we need, except that it's not being bought, you see, because of the imports. So that's a completely different problem. You understand? Because if we are still doing $1 million of rice imports or whatever the figure is.
200,000, oh, no, for the supposed gluts would be 200,000
yes,
tons.
And yes, so it's not a mismatch.
Yeah.
You know, and successive governments have said, let's stop importing rice, let's stop importing this, let's stop importing that, let's make ourselves more self-sufficient, and that is the way to go. But then when people actually take the risk and try to achieve these things, this is where they end up.
Mr. Capito, isn't it shocking? Because you have 9% increase in your minimum wage, at least, where we are. There's local rice, but you prefer an imported rice. How do we blame?
Sometimes you can't even find a local rice.
Yes, I always buy local rice.
But sometimes it's difficult to find a local rice.
Yes.
So there's a shortage.
Yeah, if there's a shortage, and sometimes even if it's available, where to get it is even the problem.
Yes.
Whose fault then?
Well, because we've allowed, and I don't mean to be biased or attack the media houses. You guys are the ones who are promoting the who rice, ko-mini rice, ko-mini, because of advertisement money. You get my point? So, and it is a business thing for you. I'm not against it. But what I'm saying is, we should also make a conscious effort to promote the Ghanaian side.
But just look at you, where you can't even find the rice. I cannot advertise what I can't see.
Yeah, but because we allow, you know, it's funny that, what was it, yesterday, I was listening to something and they were debating about, I've forgotten. But the question I asked was, if this thing is so bad, no, it was to do with the mining, the people who sell the mining equipment at Anyan Kwanta
Yes.
In Ashanti region. I think it was.
Yes,
it was multimedia. Yes, it was a multimedia thing.
Yes.
You know, and they were what they were doing was good. That is post-market surveillance. So I agree with them. But the question is, looking at the machines, looking at the size of the machines, you can't take that machine across the border of Togo. Those things came through the port.
Yes.
And government has collected duties and taxes on it. If government is serious, just like any other country, that when we see you with drugs, we seize it. Okay, why can't we seize those equipment at the port and allow them to come in before we go and do post-market? There are certain things that you need to do post-market. But the question is, if this thing is that serious, and Nyankwanta, the people there, they've been there for years. We always pretend as if we are like ostriches or like the vulture. We will build our house tomorrow when it's raining. I have seen the people at Nyankwanta for the past God knows how many years. And all of a sudden, just to, I don't know, like I said, it was a good thing that they went there. Okay, but these are the same people, because the woman had some documents, and they are telling her that
they expired.
No, it hadn't expired, but apparently what it was meant for is not what they were doing.
She's trading
because
in.
They were building some of them were building the champagne for people to come and buy. It was supposed to be spare parts. For crying out loud, if you give me spare, now people are putting these guns, these homemade guns in America. They buy the kit and they do it themselves. So if you want to stop it, you stop making the kit. It's as simple as that.
So beyond the importation, which you think you could have been regulated at the ports and seized like the way they seize drugs and all other things that are not supposed to be coming in the country, we should as well even make sure that they are not able to manufacture it in the country as well.
No, but the question is it illegal to do it? Or the people who are selling the parts are not supposed to be doing it? You see
the
my point?
EPA has moved to want to ban the use and even the importation of it completely.
So we should make a law that says Ghana, you can't bring champagne or you can't assemble champagne. Then we know that it is banned completely. But as long as it is not, quote unquote, illegal for me to have the right documents, then we are fighting a losing battle. And that's what we tend to do. And then Ghana, at the end of the day, some individual, that is what they mean, makes my stomach, itch. Some individual takes advantage and makes money of the whole situation. And this is the trouble in Ghana. The trouble in Ghana. And then when you talk, look, institutions don't work in Ghana most of the time. They don't work because the person there feels that the 9% that is being given to them is not enough.
Not enough.
So they should find a way to make more. Why are we doing this to ourselves? To our own people. To our own people. My dear, the institutions that the municipal MCEs and DMC, is it DMC and MC?
Yeah.
Most of the flood that we are complaining about, do you know they are to be blamed most of the time? Because some of them actually give illegal permits and authorization for people to build on water. I have a case with Adenta municipality right now. So I had to go all the way to the local government minister to go and report to them. Because they said that they decided that some individual who did an illegal thing in connivance with them has spent money to build a Govt so he can build on the gutter.
That is ridiculous.
No, I'm just telling you. And it's been going on for since the first NDC at Amelso's time. I went to see Honorable Konizada about it. It stopped, it went down. The guy went around reporting me, all kinds of people. But this current bunch of people at the assembly, they claim that they gave him authority because he has spent money in constructing a Govt.
Interesting.
And this is Ghana. Let the rains come. Let the area be flooded. Then you see how we will cry. We are a cursed nation. Some of us will come and tell you that, oh, I predicted that there will be. Why? Why don't we do prevention?
So the EPA has just noted they have issued that fabrication of champagne machines is carried out without the necessary permits or authorization is a violation of the Environmental Protection Act. So it comes down to what you're saying. I mean, we're stretching the conversation a little further, which means that there's no absolute ban, except you must have permits. This is also for excavators as well, that if you don't have permits, you cannot import it. So, because they say that it's used for these machines, right? So we cannot outrightly ban them. Or what do you say?
No, I agree. I agree. That's what I'm saying. It's a problem. It's a problem because the Chinese woman was trying to tell the, and like I'm saying, some individual sitting somewhere in the same EPA or some authorized agency is the one who made it possible for them to do that. Because there's no way that a Chinese person can come. Look, I tell you, it's not a joke, but it's true. I was coming from a flight and I went with Emirates. There were a bunch of Chinese people on the flight. And there was only one who could speak English. I said, hey, China, come. You, where are you going? He says, me, I'm going to Kumasi, Galamsey.
Really?
Yes, on a flight from Dubai.
What did you do?
The man knows where he's going. What can I do?
Did you not tell him that Galamsey is illegal? It's actually illegal money.
You see, I don't know. Vicky, can you somebody help me? I get confused when we make it look like Galamsey, which is gather and sell. Okay. As I knew as a young boy that it was something that was done in Obuasi and all the mining areas. And it didn't cost anything. It didn't, actually, the people who went into the pits were the ones who would die because it will collapse on them. They were not affecting any water or anything like that. Then all of a sudden, we have something small-scale mining. I think our trouble started when we started issuing license for small-scale mining. Because the small-scale miners, who are not as big as some of the recognized ones, they are the ones who are causing this. Because some of them even get the permit and they sell it to somebody.
Vicky, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, this issue with Galamsey, it's taken on so many different dimensions. Look, only last week we saw the military running away from Galamsey. So who is in charge, So if we, and that, when you start seeing that kind of thing, then you have to start worrying about security, So it's literally permeated every aspect of our society in a very negative way. Every aspect, whether it's our forests, whether it's human health. Look at these children, even women, girls reaching puberty at 6. I mean, all sorts of issues. And yet, here we are, still battling the same old drums, beating the same old drums. Something has to change because we cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. These guys are now defying our security forces.
Yeah.
I mean, the audacity is shocking. People have died because of this. So many people. And we then had in fact, look at even the August helicopter crash.
Yeah.
Some fine Ghanaians, yes. Some of our finest died. So, you sit there as a Ghanaian and you ask yourself, when will this end? Because we are eating all sorts of things. We have to eat. And those who say they don't care, they will buy the water, blah, blah, blah. Yes, people can buy water, but you have to bath with the water. Whatever it is, somehow, some of it will touch you, somehow.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just wondering when it will all stop. Because look, it has to stop. It has to stop. Because either it stops us or we stop it.
Yeah.
Yes, either the Galamsey stops us or we stop it.
The impunity of it, so apart from soldiers being chased away by some community members or illegal miners, you also saw how the EPA's trip to Arian Kwanta in the Ashanti region also ended. There was a near fatal accident, near fatal. That was ghastly, and they've been talking about how they were trying how to flee from these miners in the area. It looks to me as if we're going to go to your brother's conversation shortly, but it looks to me as though, and one question I've constantly asked on the show here is that, is it really the fact that government is unable to fight Galamsey completely, or we as a people, we just have the appetite to mine?
It's greed.
You know, I call the Galamsey thing Ghana's cocaine war. If you allow any illegal business that has a lot of money involved and the people get into it, it is difficult for you to stop it. And that is where we are heading towards. Look, you talk about, Vicky was talking about you have to bath or stop drinking and all that. It's not even that. Now, fruits that are not even grown on the, in the ground.
Yes.
Pawpaw is contaminated. Mango is contaminated. Okay, everything grown on tree, very soon it will attack our cocoa, which is our resource. And we are sitting down. My problem with you see, I think we need to get a little bit strict or do some sacrifice. Because you see, we cannot allow the civilians to attack our military people. And then when you say, oh, maybe let's declare a state of emergency, some people, look, believe me, and this is my opinion and my only. Believe me, if we had given the military people shoot to kill order, and kill about 50 or 100 of these people, this thing will reduce drastically.
Isn't that how armed robbery was stopped in its tracks?
You get what? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember during...
You know what I'm saying? They should give the military and the police people, anybody that gets out of order, shoot him and shoot to kill. Don't let him alive, because dead men don't talk. No, it's as simple. And you see, we need to get to a certain level that the state should take charge. We can't allow...
The state says that they are in charge.
In charge and they are being chased out?
Are these not SSs of the fight?
SSs of it happens every day.
I mean, look, didn't we see the whole Hanabisu thing? CPA, the military being chased. There are so many stories. It happens
every day.
All the time of people who are supposedly in charge trying to go and sort out this Galamsey problem and being chased out. These guys, they are rather shooting to kill. And the Galamseyers are rather shooting to kill. And they are heavily armed. These guys are heavily armed. I remember they were talking a while back about, you know, the security forces not having the right equipment at night. Because when the fight got quite intense, they started mining at night. And they had all the lights and all the equipment and everything. And our security forces rather didn't have some of this equipment to actually chase them at night. You know, so, I mean, we cannot allow a situation where there's a perception that any illegal group is actually above our security forces. That is, that's very dangerous. That's a disaster waiting to happen. And talking about cocoa production, it's already being affected. It's already being affected. Farmers are being paid money to sit at home by the Galamseyers so they can take over their farms and just give them some pittance every month. You know, so, and cocoa is not just about this farmer or that farmer, it's about the whole country. It is a key resource for us. as a nation.
Right.
You know, so it's affecting everything. Everything.
Well, let's move to Parliament, hopefully vetting the acting Chief Justice. They've advertised 11 a.m. today. If that happens, of course, Justice Bafo-Boni will be in the seat and then will be vetted. You must have heard some of the concerns. First of all, I mean, you have just said that he's your brother. I want to know whether, because some things my brother does, I'm not happy about. Some things he gets, I'm not happy about because I think he probably should not. Are you excited about his nomination?
I'm very, very excited. What he does with the family is different from what he would do at the courts. So, I mean, every family, we have our own issues. So the family thing does not come to play. I'm looking at his profession, what he has been able to, you know, contribute all the way to where he is now. And hopefully, by the end of the day, whether the minority would understand where they are coming from. And the question I'm saying that I think, if anything, what they are saying is there are cases pending on behalf of Justice that they need to finish hearing them. But we know in Ghana, in courts, the cases doesn't finish overnight. Yes, to me, let's look whether he's qualified, whether he's capable, and then take it from there and make sure that we hold him accountable for him to do the right thing, instead of maybe later on finding any issues with him as well. Because we tend to always talk about our Supreme Court, and it is not proper. They should be the last body of, you know, the legal thing that we should not bastardize that institution. But to me, I'm excited. He's my older brother, somebody who was born. Do you know where Goso is? He was born in Goso.
Okay.
So for somebody to come all the way from Goso to come to become the Supreme Court,
it's worth celebrating.
Yes,
but let's look at the fact that it is the Supreme Court, and usually what they do becomes law. What they say becomes law for us in this country. And we say that when you're going through a legal process in this country, it's time-consuming, it's quite cumbersome. But we've also seen that some cases are usually expedited, they are prioritized. And because this is quite a peculiar one, you do not think that maybe the courts would want to expedite it. They want to really make the hearing a lot more faster. We get finality to it so that the Supreme Court in its own rules are not questioned.
Ask the lawyer.
Well, look, I can understand both sides of the argument, but as far as I'm concerned, I would go on the side of the president has nominated, Parliament must vet. You know, it's a constitutional duty. So for me, it shouldn't be political, you know, because the Constitution actually does not stop governance because of a pending court case. That is my personal view. Parliament is right. So for me, Parliament should go ahead with the vetting of Justice Bafo-Boni, because the Constitution doesn't pause just because a case is pending in court. Governance has to continue, you see. So that is how I see it.
But he's acting.
Yes, he's acting, but he's not substantive.
How the judiciary has paused. We've not heard in any way that we have had a challenge. He's acting
but
fine.
For how long should he continue acting? I mean, acting is very different from being in a substantive role. So it's one of the key institutions of government. And so I think it's important that whatever vacuum there is should be filled as soon as possible. And that's how, you know, Parliament is right to act within its mandate. That's how institutions stay strong, you know, by moving forward, not standing still. So as far as I'm concerned, it should go ahead.
What happened to her rights, which is also justified in the same constitution that provides the president the constitutional right that if he nominates, Parliament per the constitution should as well vet? It's the same constitution.
So it's a case that's pending So it has to run its course. And then whatever the outcome with, we will deal with it. You know, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I don't even know when this thing is going to be heard. That's the problem with our system.
It can go her way or not. If it goes her way, then what?
But look at some of these parliamentary, you know, when people go to parliament, when we have parliamentary votes and then someone says, oh, they cheated me out of it, etc., and then they take the case to court. By the time the decision comes, it's all moot because the 4 years have passed. I'm not suggesting that that is what's going to happen in this case. So all I'm saying is that one of the key things that Justice Bafo-Boni, when nominated, should deal with is actually looking at some serious reforms, and this is one of the things that he has to look at. And we have issues with the judiciary. We respect them and all the rest of it, but we're also not blind.
Yeah.
You know, and we've heard reportage of all sorts of things, you know, corruption, all sorts of things in our judiciary. So he has a big job on his hands. You know, so for me, we shouldn't pause, we should go ahead.
I'd like to hear you, Mr. Computer. You have just been telling me that from Govt to where he is now is really worth celebrating and really worth the journey. I mean, you may not have prepared to tell us a little bit about him, but from where you sit, what can you say about him this morning? Today, if the vetting happens, of course, we'll get to hear more about him, but I'd love to hear from you.
You know, I would say that you know, the Bafo-Boni is a big family.
Okay.
Because their fathers had a lot of children. Dr. Bafo-Boni, Kumasi, a few. They are even the one who was under the last NDC administration, the NCA board chair, Eugene, is also a Bafo-Boni. You know, so. They are a very large family, loving people. It's interesting that, like I said, coming from Govt, so that most of them had good education and they managed to uphold themselves in good standing. Me, he's my older brother. What I know about him is he's a good older brother. Anytime I have any legal issue, is the one I call and say, Jack, what do you think? And he tells me what is the legal aspect of it. The one thing that I did not agree with him was one day I called him to ask him that this police invitation, is it compulsory? That when you are invited, that I should go. And his reason was, oh, even in our traditional homes, when the chief summons you, I said, no, leave the traditional. Because Ghana, we made it as if when the police invites you, it's a command.
I'm curious, what did he say about that?
Oh, that's why he was trying to justify that, oh, it's something that is more like...
It is a very subtle command, is it not?
Yes, something like that. But in other jurisdictions, you need to bring me a warrant or tell me that I'm under arrest. Yes. You know, so very fine person. Even the former, not the lady, Any Ebuatu was my senior in school. So I've had opportunity to have a few friends or family members in there.
Is she also from Goso?
No. Okay. He's from Twasi.
Okay.
Twasi in Ashanti region.
Okay.
So I mean, he will do a good job. Let me put it that way.
You're very certain.
Because he is very experienced. He's come through the ropes. Okay, even when any boy's issue, he was even being considered. When Tokonu's stem came, he was still being considered. So if this is the time that he's been
Would you say that it's even delayed for him in his career? Would you say that he should have been Chief Justice long ago?
Well, the only problem I will have is I think he might not be a Chief Justice for a long time because of his age.
Yeah.
You know, because of his age. If not, like the reforms that Vicky is talking about, if he had time, probably he could have done a lot of reforms because me and him, we have a lot of legal discussions because I want to see the best practice. I even had an issue, and Vicky, correct me if I'm wrong, where I had a case in court. My lawyer was there. I was on my way to the courtroom. My lawyer called me while I said, I'm around the corner. Then I think I was late for the court. Then the judge issued a bench warrant.
Oh.
Yeah.
What an abuse.
She. And the media, these people were all over.
But is it?
Govt Capital is.
No, but Vicky, is it? He was late, whether he was in the corner or not.
No, I'm just saying that my lawyer is in court.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But has it been consistent? Are you always just?
No, it's not always late. No, I'm not showing up. No. But let me ask a question. But let me ask a question. You people sometimes, sometimes I come to court and you also don't show up.
Yeah,
the lawyers.
I mean,
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. I come to court and the judge doesn't even show up.
And they don't say anything.
They don't say anything. You get there and they say today there's no sitting.
And that is, I have never seen anything like that.
Is that the work of the clerk?
That's when
to arrange timetables well and to know.
You know, so I'm just saying that if the judge can decide that they will show up in court, if I'm a little late, I should be considered.
You have practiced law for years. Have you had an experience with him?
No, I haven't actually. I do more transactional stuff. I do more like international projects and that kind. I haven't, but he is a fine gentleman.
Right.
And you know, I think he's a good selection by the president.
When he was appointed as acting Chief Justice, there were theories around that. Okay. He was supposed to have been Chief Justice a long time. I mean, it's been a long time coming. It's even delayed and all of the due. You also agree to this?
I think God's time is the best.
Is it?
The most important thing is that he will go down in history.
He'll go down.
And, you know, he has a limited time and really he can make an impact in that limited time. Whatever he starts and doesn't finish, I'm sure will be.
If the minority today, later, do not show up at the appointment committee to be part of the vetting process, what would it mean to the entire process?
It's not the first time we've had situations where one side hasn't shown up, and you know, the business of Parliament has continued, hasn't it? So it's not the first time it's happened in our history. I hope they show up, because a Chief Justice is a Chief Justice for all, not just for a political party. It is for us Ghanaians. You know, that appointment is one that is very, very critical, because it's one of the three key arms of government. So it's something that everyone has to participate in. So I think they owe it to their constituents to show up. But if they decide not to show up, well,
it will be sad, because you're just describing him as a fine gentleman, and that we all would love that. Everything that is needed on the chain would be present so that it would be a full-fledged vetting. And so whilst it won't be the first time that has happened in history, I mean, they have been. Usually, you would not anticipate that the minority on one side will stage a walkout or they will not show up.
No.
Usually, it happens when it's happening.
And
but this one, they have at least issued the warning: don't proceed, don't proceed. You're expecting that some negotiations should have happened in the back so that today we make progress, especially for a Chief Justice who is not going to stay for long.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so, because you know, as I said, for me it will be good that all members of the House show up, or both sides of the House show up in their numbers, because it is an important appointment and it affects all of us as Ghanaians. Whether you show up or you don't show up, in the end, we are all affected by the appointment. So I really hope that they show up and do their, perform their constitutional mandate as parliamentarians.
Okay.
You know, it's funny, even there's lockdown in America. Finally, they've come to an agreement. Yes, that they're going to open for a while. I thought until January, because the people are the ones who are suffering. They are the ones who are not getting paid. You know, and you don't want to be seen as you are the one who caused me not to be paid, because next year there's a midterm election. They will use it against you. Unfortunately, we don't do that in Ghana. You know, but you know, for all the Liverpool fans in Ghana, he is a staunch Liverpool fan.
You never walk alone. I hope you don't walk alone this morning.
The acting Chief Justice never walks alone.
I see. Well, stay with me. I'm just going for a quick break. Stay with me. When we come back, your assessment of the OSP, and then we'll have some guests as well join us. Please stay. Thank you so much for staying. You're watching the AM show and we're reviewing the news this morning. We're as well joined by Tanko Computer. Thank you for joining us this morning, CEO of GFEC. So a lot happening for you, a lot happening for the government this week. So today the vetting of the Chief Justice as well. Later we hear that the report or the Augustus helicopter crash as well will be presented to the Security Council. Later this week, the Nkokon as well will be launched. That policy would be launched. And then on Thursday, the budget for 2026 will be read as well. What has your attention, first of all?
Very well. Let me say good morning to you and my co-panelists and the good people of Bimbilla constituency as well as Wolesi. I wish them well. I mean, it's exciting time to be Ghanaian at this moment, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I mean, the vetting of the CJ will commence this morning. It's one of the best choices that we can ever have as a country. Looking at the pedigree of the person who is going to sit in there, I mean, he's seen it all. He's seen it all. This is not his first. He shouldn't have been nominated this time. He should have been nominated long since. I mean, this thing that we are doing in this country is not helping anybody. It's not helping anybody at all. And they see we must call speed a speed. At the time they nominated Tokono, they bypassed him. Everybody knew what was going on in this country. Everybody knew why they bypassed Broby.
She has well qualified, is she not?
No. You see, it's not about... if you ask them, lawyer is here. The Supreme Court, they deal with seniority, right? But it's at the behest of the president. When it comes, the vacancy is created. But you see, you don't bypass all these seniors like that. And when I picked Madam Toko, we knew that it was not going to go anywhere because where she was coming from, we knew she was going to have these problems. Look at how she made the judiciary. It came onto its needs.
Saying does what you're saying now not prejudice the choice then? That, well, because you knew that she didn't have to be nominated even at the time that she was nominated, you are there now?
I'm saying that, you see, in law, they have what they say, res ipsa loquitur. Is that not it?
Res ipsa loquitur, yes.
Is that not true? The matter speaks for itself. Can't you see what is going on? Can't you see what is going on? I'm saying that it's very straight.
Yes. The facts speak for
themselves. I am not saying it. It's straightforward.
Are you not concerned that a minority says you should hold on?
For them, what do you expect from them? What do you expect from them?
They've sat through nominations and vetting all through.
You see, the least talk about them, the better. These are 86 things, they are using it to worry Ghanaians too much.
That's 86
they are not even concerned about, these 86, we still have problem with them. We are going to go after some of them. These 86, instead of them to go and do soul searching, why Ghanaians voted them out, for them to get 38% in the general election, that one is not concerning them. What concerns them now is to put a lot of spokes in the wheels so that the wheel will not grind very well. This is what they are doing. We know what they are up to. And they are preventing, is it the first? I see the hypocrisy of them is legendary. You remember the issue of that electronic tax that they brought?
E-levy.
The e-levy. You saw the hypocrisy of what they did over there.
How about it?
There was a pending case in court of arrest, Supreme Court. They went ahead and rubbish it and passed it in Parliament and told us to hell. The minority filed a writ in the Supreme Court, trying to stop that process. They rubbish it and went ahead. The same minority, led by my wedding brother, Fenyumaki, ran to court when the issue of LGBT came up.
What were they doing over there? When the speaker wanted to stop some of their MPs from coming, when a properly constituted committee came out with a recommendation that they should stop them from continue to be MPs in Parliament, after they've gone to participated in elections, they in fact virtually crossed carpet. Because they went and contested as independent candidates and all that. When they were supposed to be sitting on the ticket of MPP. And when a ruling was made on it, what did they do? They ran to court. So today they are now telling Ghanaians that we should follow due process. Which due process are they talking about?
And so today, whether they show up at the vetting or not.
Today, when they go and cut a bed, and we all see that this is a bed, the minority will say we should call it a monkey because they don't see it as a bed. It is only when they are holding it that then they can describe it as a bed. That's the kind of behavior they are.
What if maybe it's true? Maybe it's...
What is true about this? I've just given a litany of example of their hypocrisy. And I'm saying that today they will vet the CG.
With or without the minority?
In fact, if they don't come, it will be good for us to save this country. Their absence will even save this country. Because what are they going there to do? That is a problem we are having with them. And I think that, look, we must call a spade a spade. And I've been saying it. Anytime they are in opposition, the country develops. Seriously.
So they play the opposition role very well.
They play it well. They should be.
So why don't you just let them on the table then? Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Let's keep them there. When they are in opposition, country develops. Look, today single-digit inflation. Can't you see that? Look at the dollar rate.
But this dollar rate, is it translating in our pockets? We've seen that you have increased minimum wage by 9%.
That's good for us. That's so beautiful. If you're looking at the numbers, you must look at the inflation rate as well. So you must look at all that. That's why they are giving you this figure. It is not about the numbers. They are looking at what you get in your pockets. As we're saying now, with even the 9%, go and see, people are filling their tanks. Without the 9%, tomorrow, people are filling their tanks.
I'm not able to fill my tank.
Maybe you don't want it. You see the tax reduced. you are not traveling anyway.
No, is it? No.
Yes.
Mr. Tanko, let's get real about it.
Yes.
I mean, if you still plow that East Legon route and you like your roasted plantain like me, the price hasn't changed.
I'm saying,
Mr. Capito is even just saying it here, and I really could relate.
You see, it's not about this. If you look at food inflation, we have managed to bring it down drastically. As compared to what we're suffering at when the inflation rose to 57 or 59% at this country. We managed to contain this.
I understand the variables that contribute to inflation and how it decreases, but I'm saying that we see it on paper. Do you feel it in your pocket?
Oh, I say we feel it. Don't you go in?
Have you asked your people in Bimbila?
Oh, they are. In fact, there's a food glut there. Go there, plenty of food. You load your car and come home.
Are you sure it's a food glut, as we've just been?
This place, how do they call it? I wish my brother was here, so I would have mentioned it to you. I went to his community, and there's this, maize, plenty. They are even looking for buyers. We spoke to buffer stock and other things. They are going to offload everything from the place. The farmers are happy. They are getting bumper harvest. Through this
the same farmers who are not happy about this grain glut? Or these are different set of farmers?
Marketing.
Sorry?
The marketing process. You know, these people didn't create any avenue to take care of them. So when we came in, we had to grapple with that kind of problem. And that is why we brought in the issue of Feed Ghana. So that to take care of these things. So that buffer stock will not now just be used as avenue for stealing state money to go and siphon us to private entities. Unlike what is going on now, can't you see buffer stock? It was an avenue to steal Ghana money and to run MPP administration. That was what was going on in this country. Now we have stopped that. Those leakages we used to exist has now been blocked.
So buffer stock is going to take...
It's taking care of that. It's buying those things, food stuff from them. They bought one from just Eastern region here. They were suffering. Have you heard anything about it again? A lot of farmers, they are happy now. And we are bringing in this mechanism to make sure that the farmers have the good. But we've not discounted the difficulty. You know, we are running open market. Okay? A friend was just telling me, he used to buy this 5 kilos perfume rice. They were selling 110 Ghana cedis. Today, he gets it somewhere around 70 Ghana cedis. In some places, some people are still selling it 110 Ghana cedis. What is that? Now you go after them, media men, you come and say, we are chasing people in the market. That we are bringing price controls again. And then you go and be talking about PNDC and all this. So we don't want to go that path. We are talking to the leaders And I'm happy Capito is here. They are the people, the consumer. They should talk to their people.
He is also concerned about the fact that,
what I'm saying.
Well, you've increased the minimum wage, but we're not seeing it on our plate. He's also concerned.
How come some people are selling the rice, the same quantity, 70 Ghana cedis, and you are in your store selling it?
Mr. Capito, are you concerned?
Because you mentioned something, Mr. Tanko.
Yes.
That is a free market.
That is it. That is
a free pricing. Hold on. It's a free pricing.
Yes.
Just like an apartment that is Legon is expensive than the one in Kokomimli. It's not because every Ghanaian wants to live in Kokomimli. We also want to go and live in East Legon. But we can't afford it. Affordability is very, very important. You see, and I agree that, yes, the figures that you are throwing about, I said earlier, macro and micro, it doesn't make any, it doesn't do
bread and butter, right?
You know, you see, when you talk about what brings inflation and all that, the food basket is one of them. So if the food basket is not showing, there is an imbalance. It is good, 9%. Okay, if you are taking, let's say, 1,000 cedis, now you get close to 1,100 cedis. But the question is, would the additional 100 cedis make your life better? That's the question.
Another question I want to follow up is, if they increase the minimum wage, even to the largest amount, and traders do not adhere to reducing prices, would we ever feel
that one is the consumer's issue? Because, you know, I always tell people, the consumer, your most powerful weapon is your money. If the person that you're suspecting, you don't buy it. Shop around.
That's choice. That's how I was talking.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's shop around.
The options.
And then you get the options are there, and we have created avenue for the options.
But if the maize you talk about is happening,
yes.
My father is in the Volta region, a small village called Bakpa. How is he going to, this same minimum wage, how is he going to get access to this maize in Lato's constituency?
We have reduced fuel prices.
So
the cost of transporting it from the villages to the urban communities has reduced. And so therefore, we have to enforce, make sure that the people reduce the prices in the market. And that's why I'm telling you that if I can get the rice 70 Ghana cedis in one store, and you are sitting there selling it at 110, your rice will rot in your store there. Nobody will go there and buy it.
Mr. Capito,
go and buy the lesser one. It's the same quantity, the same quality. And that is what we are talking about. And then when you do this, you force them to reduce their prices.
Have you nursed the idea of government pressure on traders as well?
You see, on the trader side, government has a major role, and government is refusing to do it. That's why when you deal with the Gupta people, I've always had issues with the Gupta people agitating that importation. I'd rather have AGI, Association of Ghana Industries, who manufacture or produce in Ghana, agitate instead of Gupta, because Gupta is the ones who are going to import, use the dollars to whatever. But if it's being manufactured in Ghana, then yes, pressure can be put. And say yes, because it's being produced in Ghana, made in Ghana for Ghanaians, then why not? As we're talking about the Ghanaian rice, okay, and other things. That same boy, what's his name? Wadamaya. Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
They built 2 tomato factories.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they are building a 3rd one.
And the citizens, however, contribute to it.
Yeah,
let me a certain amount.
Yeah, let me tell you what. Burkina Faso is drier than your constituency. Honorable. Burkina Faso is drier than your constituency.
They used to import food from.
So the question is,
was a child,
if your constituency cannot grow enough tomato for Ghanaians, then there's something wrong with your constituency. Because if Burkina Faso, an initiative by a single person, can let them build 2 tomato factories and a 3rd one ongoing, then there's something wrong with Ghana. Ghana, we've produced tomato before. We've produced corned beef before. Corned beef, people don't know. Do you know what we've produced in Ghana before? We've produced matches. We've produced glasses. We've produced tires, car tires, Bonza tires. Some of these people don't know. So they come and they talk blah, blah, blah. Okay, Glamour was doing manufacturing in clothing. Okay, Ghana has lived before. Because we messed up No, hold on, no, but I'm not attacking you as an or the party in power. I'm just saying we as Ghanaians, we've screwed up. People are excited because now there's Melcom. There was Farisco.
Farisco, yes, actually.
You get my point? All I'm saying is we've had all these things. Yes, it is good that now the Melcoms and co are coming in and blah, blah, blah to support the economy. But if you are talking about things that we Ghanaians can, like the Nkete Nkete, if the Nkete Nkete is done well, I'll be happy.
Yes.
Anything that John Mahama does, me, I'm a Ghanaian. Let me state here. Before I vote for a party. So if a government comes and the government is doing good for Ghana, I support him. I'm not one of those who will say, let me fold my hand, wish that they don't do well so that my party will come in power.
If you scan us as a people, do you think that we're willing to pay a little amount or a token to go into such factories like we're seeing in Burkina Faso?
You see, Ghanaians have asked to contribute before. And the question is, we didn't see anything come out of it. So we become a little bit skeptical about it. Okay, even if I give, would I even see? Like people complain about, I don't even want to pay my taxes. I don't want to pay rent property rate.
Yeah.
Because when I pay, I don't see what the assembly does for me. You get my point? But if I am paying value for money, okay, that I pay good property rate, and I'm seeing good roads being tiled in my neighborhood, I've seen the refuse, the drainage, kiosks being removed, noise pollution, and all that. Why wouldn't I pay more? Because that is the reason why you are paying.
Right.
Oh no, so please.
Let me come in here.
Go ahead.
Are you introducing new taxes on Thursday?
You know what?
Before you respond, are you introducing new taxes on Thursday?
Let me get this. I'll come to that. My good friend Capito is very right. And I go along with him. You know what? That is why we are changing the narratives now. That is why we are changing the narratives. Because for 8 damn good years, we wasted our time in this country. If people were to continue what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama did when he was in his first term in 2013 to 2016, we wouldn't have been where we are as a country. I remember this issue of the factories and all this. People came and told us that they were going to do one village, one district, one factory. Is that not it? I'm saying that.
Does the previous government not have anything that you the current government could have continued? You discontinued the one district, one factory.
How can you continue? When people use $58 million to dig a hole for God,
that was
how can you run a country like this?
That was not part of the one district.
That's why I'm saying that if they had used the $58 million, do you know the number of factories it can create in that place? Give me $1 million.
But the ones that were existed, why did you?
What did they do over there? Is it about building a wall and painting it and write one district?
But you have the wall there already. Why don't you utilize it?
There's nothing in there. And I'm saying that these are the difficulties we have in this country. And I'm saying that that is not it. The level of corruption in this country was unprecedented. To the extent people would use $13 million to eat wache. Wache, how much is wache in this state?
So what
we're talking about?
How much is 30 million? You actually how much? And I say it's 30 million.
Very expensive wache.
Can you imagine? This is the kind of country we are living in Ghana. If we don't fix this kind of problems, we are not going to go anywhere. And that is why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is taking the bull by the horn. Let's recover the loot. There's a lot of loot. People have touched a lot of Ghana currencies and foreign currencies under their beds. They are sitting on it. We have one in this country. We saw it. They were chasing her. They wrote a love letter to dismiss the matter.
Till now, you have not said that.
We are following them. We are doing it. Haven't you seen some people are behind bars now and they are facing
No. But to be fair, till now,
yes,
you have not said that it is government money.
Oh, but which is not. Do you evidence you wanted? That's why I'm saying that the evidence is being pursued about them.
We've had money under beds since time immemorial. Have you? Maybe there's a python that is vomiting it. How is it? I mean, think about it. Have you thought about?
So you are telling me MPP appointees were having pythons in their rooms?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Not at all. I didn't even mention any party.
But I'm saying
those who were you who say that, and it takes me to oral and accountability.
Yes.
Yeah, because
that's what we are doing. Probity and accountability is now working.
Where are you with that?
Are you sure?
Oh, why are you with that?
Tanko, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? No. You know, the AG said something, and I agree with him 100%. With the same Buffett stock person that you are referring to, that the man's salary is 25,000 cedis a month. How does he afford to build or buy a house at some place in Airport Hills, 1.6 million? Go to Airport Hills right now. Go and see your current appointees and former appointees who are living there. And we knew them before they. No.
I'm saying that.
You see,
we have the OSP is there. We have EOCO is there. And I'm saying that if you knew all these things that you have, why are you keeping it to say? It means you must be a good citizen, must go and report.
But what did you see for you to want to talk about?
And I'm saying that we have seen it.
Was it Mr. Capito's account that you owned up to want to do oral, right?
Yes, Mr. Capito has information. About that, we are chasing some people because they have...
You presented to us as a country...
Should I mention names?
Oh, go.
Should I mention names?
You know the place to mention.
Should I mention names?
Capito.
Should I mention names?
This place...
Honorable Okudo to Ablakwa. Hold on. No, don't tell me no.
Capito.
We live in a country. Listen,
Capito.
The same thing
I'm interested in what you say.
I beg you. The same you are accusing MPP for doing the rot that they did, which most of us agree with you. I can also say, it looks like we are doing animal farm in Ghana. If we want to do it 100% for Ghanaians, who wants to support the current administration? I support JDM 120%. I'm putting it on record. But the question is, the biased way of doing things is what I'm against.
So, Capito, I am saying that you have the information. No. The officers...
I gave you to do a black one.
Do I work in it?
But you are saying
so you know the right place.
You are telling me the man came to you and then he told you guys that it is something whose property. In another jurisdiction, that person would have been gotten in trouble. Stop that.
And report.
I should go and report. I'm telling you. You are a member of parliament.
No, I'm not a member yet. I'm not a member of parliament yet. But I'm a government appointee. Yeah, okay, and I'm saying that the officials who are supposed to do the job, EOCO is there. No. You have OSP is there. You have the police, the criminal investigation department, they are all there. And I'm saying Capito has a vital information concerning somebody issues. Go there and report. They are active now. If OSP is working 24 hours, unlike the previous administration, he came out and said that you blocked him from working. The former administration refused him to function. And that's why we have fugitives all over the place. People are running out of the country, left and right. Now they can't run away.
How many people?
Oh, the former finance minister is outside there. So Capito, what is he doing there?
No, he's a
chief prime
architect
of it.
I know. He should come to Ghana.
Let's look for him. Help us to bring him to Ghana.
He should come to Ghana.
Help us to bring him to Ghana. Because
give me assistance. I'll go and look for him.
So, you know the difficulties that we are talking about. I am very passionate about my rural development. Because I'm from a rural area.
Sure.
And you see that the people there also must enjoy the fruit of their labor.
100%. 100%. Yes. 100%.
So if somebody should use $58 million capital to go and dig hole and say he's praying to God for that.
Can I?
Are you happy with this?
I beg you, I'm not happy. But
so I'm saying that. So let's deal with this matter.
Yes, we are dealing with it. But what I want you to understand is some of us, we spoke against even before the first axe was put on the ground. Some people who are too think they know God more than us chastise us, call us evil, because we made it like Ghana is the most religious country in the world. Even Israel will not even do that.
So I'm happy you are not agreeing.
Oh, but all the religious people were for
these kind of things should not stop. And so we have to pat the back of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for another investigation that is as that forensic audit should go to what? The 13th All African Games. That was another massive.
But we've done the sports investigations over and over.
No, Capito, this one.
This one. Brazil. We do all these things. What happens
under his term when the Brazil matter was done?
No, I'm just saying we do them.
White paper was issued and those involved were dealt with.
It'll be a good time to bring in the OSP because of accountability.
So the OSP is a good.
I agree that we are holding people accountable.
No, we must.
But the question I'm saying is, are we doing it fairly?
Oh yes, we are.
You get my point. Because we were here, we've seen other committees or other investigations being done, and even when a white paper is issued on it, Ghanaians don't even see what happens. I tell you a typical one. You remember the bus contaminated thing? I was part of the people who investigated that.
And they rubbish it.
Hold on.
See how you did your work.
Oh, hold on. Let me also. But you see, I like to speak the truth. I'm not a politician. I'm a Ghanaian. I love my country. I don't want my grandchildren to do what I did at the age of 24. I decided to abandon Ghana, go and spend my youthful years abroad. I want them to live in Ghana and enjoy Ghana. Okay, so let's stop this thing that we are dividing Ghana. We can't divide Ghana. NDC, MPP. We should be Ghana. When it comes to elections, we can do NDC, MPP.
Yes.
Okay, because nobody can force me to vote for anybody if I don't want to. But the question is, at the end of the day, after the election, if you promise me that you do A, okay, I want you to see that you've done A, that maybe the next person can come and move it to B.
Vicky, do you agree that we're really going on this accountability journey so far?
I think we've made the government has made a good start on the accountability. You know, the rot was just too much. The rot was too much, and it just kind of changed your stomach. Some of the things that
you hear.
Yes, that you hear about. I mean, this buffer stock issue, this issue with SML, this one, that one, so many scandals. And it just changed your stomach as a Ghanaian, especially when you look at the deprivation in our rural communities, what is happening in hospitals. People are dying because of lack of, facilities, etc. Some communities don't even have the barest minimum. So when you look at that, and then you look at how much money was just squandered, it beggars belief. So I think accountability is something that we always talk about. But I think for the first time, at least, there's a concerted effort to do something about it. Maybe I think we need to probably accelerate the pace. That's what I think. I think we need to accelerate the pace.
One-sided.
Yes, and it shouldn't be one-sided, because corruption inside, corruption in another party, corruption wherever, at the end of the day, it's Ghana that suffers. So I commend the work that is being done so far. I think it should be deepened. I think it should be widened. And I think anybody who has taken money from our coffers should account to us. It is not their personal property. When money is entrusted to you as a public official, you have to remember that you are holding that money in trust for the people of Ghana.
The people's money.
It is not your money. So I support 100% any efforts by this administration and any other administration that is going to bring that money back into the coffers to work for Ghana. And so I'm particularly excited. I mean, I'm happy with what is going on so far. And I think the government should do even more to bring the money. This Manasseh was talking about even more money that can be brought back and all. Everything should be going. They have to account for every penny.
Just give me a minute. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we answer the question whether the office of the OSP is indeed needed or not. Stay. Well, thank you so much for staying with us. So when we go on break, it's even more fun in studio. You should see what happens in here. But we're also just joined by Gloria Bwedu. She is a lawyer, Fori Bwedu, and she is a lawyer and as well women's rights activist. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So you have just joined us. We've been discussing about the minimum wage, 9%, that, that will take effect in January pretty soon. And we've also been talking about the vetting of the acting Chief Justice to become the substantive Chief Justice. We've also just zeroed into accountability. Which one has your full attention this morning?
Are you asking me to make a choice? Okay, I'll go for accountability. As for the Chief Justice, I think I've spoken, I've written, so there's no need to comment.
Every day there's a new viewer who loves to hear from you. We definitely will hear your take on that. Would love to hear your take on that as well, don't worry. So you're not stuck to a choice. You can talk about all of them. We can start with what has your full attention.
All right, thank you. In respect of accountability, you know, we live in this country where after the 66 coup in 1969, the issue of corruption or perceived corruption, sometimes corruption is a perception, was so, you know, fundamental that all operatives of the Nkrumah regime were banned from contesting office, okay? All of them. Nobody was allowed to contest the 1969 elections. And then we had the revolution in 79, where people who had borrowed, I think, 50 Ghana cedis were perceived as anti-state, you know, persons, and so were sent to the firing squad. And then, don't look surprised. So it's on and on and on. Anytime there's a change of government, the past government members are demonized. And then the present ones are canonized. It's been going on as a pattern. It's a pattern. I believe that to stop this pattern, we need strong regulatory institutions, strong anti-corruption institutions that exist with persons who are in office irrespective of when party changes. Because when party changes and political power changes and the management of these anti-corruption agencies also changes, then you know what is going to happen. There's definitely going to be bias. So that's all I'm saying, that we need institutions which are anti-corruption strengthened, because the persons who are in charge will not be changed when the party changes. Do you see the OSP's office as
one of those? Do you consider the OSP's office as one of those?
I do, but you know what? I have always been of the impression that the OSP Act, that's the Act 959, kind of changed the OSP. You know, it's like the OSP is appointed on recommendation by the Attorney General, and every step the OSP takes is not that independent. You know, the OSP has to take every step based on the AG's, what do you call it, assistance and support. And for every step, the OSP has to go to the court for every stage of the investigation. I think it's cumbersome and it slows, you know, down the process, and it's a bit of a waste of our tax resources, because you know every stage has to spend some money. So if the OSP Act can be reviewed so that it's less cumbersome, and then it's not going to waste a lot of our resources as taxpayers, I think that would be fair.
Okay, so you are not advocating for the entire removal of it, but
I saw the legislation that set it up, and I was disappointed, because we were all excited that we're going to have an independent investigator. But trust me, with this legislation, he's not.
Okay. Well, Mr. Capito.
You know, on this OSP thing, having an OSP is a good thing. The OSP should be a single-purpose vehicle, case-based issue. As in other jurisdictions, which I'm more comfortable with, is the United States, where if there's a case and the case has party or political things, then you set up an independent special prosecutor. Like the Molinka Lewinsky's case. Ken Starr, after his findings, he closed shop. It's not a permanent office. It's based on case by case. But we, because of whether, like she said, the law that sets it up, it was set up to make it look like it was against a particular regime. So some people were excited when the OSP was set up, just like the oral is now in place, and other people too are excited and other people are not happy. But I agree with Gloria. We should have institutions that are strong, that are independent, devoid of government interference. Okay, we should have people who should have the courage and the must to say that, Mr. President, I don't agree with you. So if you want your job, take your job and then walk away. But my question is, in Ghana, how many of us when we are giving a free car, free per diem.
Martin Amidu did it.
Oh, he's the only soldier in Jerusalem. And then even the two parties attacked them. Did you see what happened to Martin, Citizens Vigilante? The two parties attacked him and crucified him.
What's the worst? What's worse do you envisage with this current OSP?
Who?
The current OSP.
To me, his office should not be a permanent thing.
But would it matter who appoints as well?
It's not even appointing, because it's something that should be agreed by both sides of parliament to say that, okay, fine, this is we agree, you agree, so let him do the job. In other jurisdictions, that's how it's not. So that it will not be more like it is in your favor or my favor. Okay, and after he finished the case, it should not be a permanent thing. Like, when you said that, it's a waste of the taxpayers' money. A permanent OSP's office?
But if you have issues coming in every day, that's a near permanent.
Issues should not come in every day. That is why we have the Attorney General's office.
Okay.
Issues should not. There are two lawyers here. That is why we have the Attorney General's office. Then what's the essence of having an Attorney General if everything is going to go to the Special Prosecutor? It shouldn't. The Attorney General should be the person who will prosecute cases on a daily basis.
Okay. Okay. Vicky?
I think the original idea behind having an OSP was a solid one. You know, to have an independent institution that can tackle corruption without political interference. But look, 8 years on, what do we have to show for it? That is the problem. And I do agree with my sister Gloria that the act itself is problematic. You know, when you talk about results, I mean, we always see the OSP doing all these press releases, talking a lot, speaking a lot, and then people get all worked up thinking, okay, this time there'll be a prosecution, this time there'll be a result, and then nothing happens. You know, so maybe
beyond
we need
prosecutions,
to reform.
He's recovered some monies as well. I mean, there hasn't been prosecutions with that, but
yes, but I'm saying, you know, convictions, all the rest of it. The reason why he was set up, yes, he has recovered some monies, and that's good. That's a good thing. But when you compare the actual results against what could have been done, you know, we are a bit underwhelmed.
Which means that we're happy with the prosecutions, but we want convictions totally, really.
No, we want convictions, we want results beyond what we have seen at the moment.
Okay.
You know, so I think maybe we also need to reform it. And to be fair, he also has to be well funded. He's better funded now than he was before, because we heard Martin Amidu complaining, and even this current OSP was also complaining about funding. But I think the situation has improved, but he still needs to be well-resourced to do what he does.
Okay, wouldn't it be waste of resources if we resource or retool the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and then the legislative also remains the same, the laws or the laws that mandate him remains the same? Wouldn't we just be throwing money away then?
We do need to do the reforms to give him true independence.
Okay.
You know, because he's not completely independent, you know, and we've seen that even with the extradition. He needs the Attorney General's support. He can do it to a point and all the rest of it. So he does need independence, and he does need, you know, some, I think, better resources as well, or more resources.
I'd come to you.
But do you agree that it should be a permanent office?
I think if it's reformed, then I don't have a problem with it. If it's reformed. But as it is now, no. As it stands now, no.
But in UK, you don't have a permanent OSP office?
Not, well, there's the Director of Public Prosecution.
Yeah, but the
DPP.
The DPP is the man in charge. Isn't he the one in charge of?
In charge of every. In fact,
every year.
Obama used to be a
yes.
DPP. Yeah.
So I don't understand why we're having the Attorney General, we're having OSP.
This is why there has to be a clear...
Mr. Computer, I'll come to you. When I finish, Gloria, one of the questions I want maybe some answers to is they're asking for independence of bodies such as this one. But is there true independence in most of our arms of government and even under it, the administrations that are under it? Because
Ministry of Justice.
Maybe. Is there true independence, and can there be true independence? I'll come to you for that answer, but let me just also come to, do you plan on keeping the office of the Special Prosecutor, this government, do you?
You see, MFR, this government will not interfere in the work of the OSP, EOCO, SHRAJ, and all the anti-corruption agencies. This government has no intention of interfering in any of them. You see, the successes they have chalked so far is because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has refused to interfere in their operations.
Which of the excellences they've chalked?
John Dramani Mahama. How do you see the excellencies? The successes
of the OSP.
The OSP, EOCO,
which ones?
And the SHRAJ.
Under your government currently, which successes?
Oh, I know they want to tell you. The man even said it separately.
I'd love the education.
He's chasing people all the
You would say that's successful yet?
That's successful.
All right.
The man even admitted it.
Chasing?
Yes, he has arrested a lot of people. He has arrested a lot of people, and a lot of resources have been recovered, loot has been recovered from people. He said it in his last press conferences. He gave us a breakdown of some of the things they have done so far. And he even said it, that look, had it not because of this current administration, he was blocked from acting in certain activities. He said it. KSM had a chat with him. And he narrated the ordeal he went through under this administration, MPP. The ordeal.
But are you happy with so far his performance? There's the Oforiatta case. There's SML. Many others that they are investigating.
We are not interfering like our predecessors. They made that office to look like a rubber stamp office. It was meant for a purpose.
Was it them or it's just the act?
No.
Gloria has just been pointing out to the act. Was it them or it's just the act?
When the act, they put the bill there. You know, our members in Parliament then spoke extensively against the way they were cruising with it. Initially, it wasn't Office of Special Prosecutor. That was not it. If you go and look at the campaign message that brought them into power, they were talking of independent prosecutor. That is what they were advocating for. And they came in and changed the whole thing.
What's the real difference? Could you not have a special prosecutor that will be independent?
Potato.
So the lawyers will tell you about it. Then when they brought it and then pass it on, the day it was signed into law by the then president, Nana Akufo-Addo, do you know that they held a Tea Party and Kenke Party all over the country and saying that Ghana problem was now resolved by that office?
But was it not a good thing to have a Tea or a Tea Party over a body that can at least help fight corruption?
But they forgot that
the Kenke thing was the man
who was presiding then had no interest in allowing that office to function. Because the office, when they put in Leonard Martin Amidu as the first officer, you know what he was up to? He started chasing the government of the day. And the expectation was for him to use that one to chase the previous government administration.
Listening to Capito now, do you think that office should be permanent, knowing that it is for special cases?
It's a statute, so it's an established body by the
Parliament.
And I'm saying that unless otherwise, it's repealed, we'll continue to use that office.
I agree, but I'm saying that looking at it, do you? I
am saying that.
Can you nurse the idea? Can you picture it in your mind's eye?
Why would the president go and interfere in their work? The president will not interfere in their work. We are not like Nana Akufo-Addo. We are not like them. What we are doing is that we allow them to function. And because it's functioning effectively, some people are uncomfortable with that. That's why they are calling for the man, that office to be dissolved. It will be dissolved. It must chase them and make sure that we recover everything that they ran away with. And I'm saying they are collaborating. Now there's a good collaboration between EOCO, OSP, SHRAJ. You know, SHRAJ is now active. SHRAJ, which used, nobody here of SHRAJ under MPP regime, 8 years. Nobody heard of them. Now SHRAJ is up, active and working because the president has allowed them to function independently. And that's what we are calling for, strengthening the anti-corruption agencies, give them the necessary resources so that they will function effectively. We can go to sleep. And I believe what my good friend Capito was talking about, Ken Starr. Yes, we follow the matter
seriously. But if you look at the way these people designed the OSP at that time, we're all in this country. We're all in this country. Nobody could raise a finger to tell them that what we were trying to do, to put it as an independent organization, an agency permanent, to be dealing with matters of corruption and corruption-related issues. Nobody talked about it. We all allowed them because we thought that we had an Arab king ruling this country then.
Who's that?
But that was what there's the country.
Oh, dear.
Well, no, is it not a fact? In Ghana, the 8 years we were ruling, was it not like an Arab king who was ruling this country? Well, was he not moving with his chair? Don't you have a V8 which was carrying the chair around for him to wear and sit?
What's wrong with that, though?
There's something wrong with that.
They had a bad.
There's something wrong with that.
They had a bad back.
What's wrong with that?
Look, today,
let's not really talk to just the chair that the person.
No, it's serious.
What's wrong with it?
What are you talking about? We will take our own state's resources, go and buy a whole V8, put a chair inside, then the V8 will be cruising everywhere you are going with that chair.
Are you not exaggerating it?
Is it not a fact? Didn't you see it? Was the chair flying left and right? Was it not in a V8?
Maybe that's what makes him comfortable.
No, that's not fair enough. And I'm
at least
that
the president can't have
look at the modest life of the current president. He go and sit on these plastic chairs we are all sitting. Okay. He go anywhere they give him a chair, he sits on it. He has opened up the presidency for people to go and do demonstration in the night.
Let me go.
Very soon, Capito will not talk about it. People could not pass through the Flagstaff House in front. Who dare you? They said it was a secret zone.
When?
You remember these people when they bundled them into Black Marine and all that? They came there to demonstrate. How did they call it? Former one is good.
I will leave you to remember the
demonstration,
but not walking.
And I'm saying, was it not what they were trying to do?
Demonstration
people
is
go
different
and
from
demonstrate in the night at the Flagstaff House in front there. Nobody because it's our house. It's our government house.
Yes.
And but the MPP, 8 years, who born dog, go there and see what happened.
Nelson did a demonstration.
And that's why you people got us out in power.
About independence, I mean, I hear them say that there's collaboration between this investigative body and all of that. No matter how we put the act or the legislature, what that would govern a particular institution, would that be independence?
Well, I would say that when you look at Section 13.5 of the Act, okay, it talks about the fact that the special prosecutor can be in office for 7 years maximum. So that part fits this, my position that we should have anti-corruption officers that will outlast the tenure of a political party. However, the same special prosecutor can be recommended to a president to be appointed, or the president can delegate his powers to the Attorney General to appoint that special prosecutor. So there's that semblance of transcending political change, but then there's still that chain of the Attorney General having the power to appoint him. And so the Attorney General can also play an influence in respect of the activity of the special prosecutor. And the Attorney General is political. He's politically appointed. So there's this aspect of trying to give the semblance that the president may not appoint him. But then the Attorney General has the delegated powers to do so. So the independence is the 7 years tenure of office that transcends political, that may transcend a 4-year political term. Not an 8-year. And then that's the independent semblance, the semblance of independence. But then the issue of being appointed by the AG, and then every step, when it comes to any suspicion or freezing of accounts or search or every step, the OSP has to go to a court of law. And the court of law will have to listen to the other party and all that.
I'll still stay with you and quite curious. So today, if nothing changes, the Appointment Committee of Parliament will sit and vet Justice Oba Foboni. I know that you've had a lot of time to talk about it, but today, should the vetting proceed regardless of the pushback from the minority?
We are talking of a constitutional democracy where the 3 arms of government are supposed to be at par, the judiciary, the executive, and parliament. Now we have a situation where the executive have, usurped the powers of the judiciary and has held an in-camera process to remove our Chief Justice. a constitutionally appointed Chief Justice. Now, there are all these...
Usurping?
I'm coming on. Now, there are all these cases going on that have been filed in the courts of law. But if Parliament, with their majority, want to overlook that and appoint a new Chief Justice, who am I to talk? All I'll say is that posterity is waiting. Usually when these things happen, you just watch. Within the next couple of months and years, you see what happens. So we are watching. Okay, if one day somebody wants to study all these processes, just like in Riakoto, you know, we as law students, we all had to study in Riakoto, which was a case that we thought violated the Constitution at the time. Okay, now there are those of us of the belief that the executive have usurped the powers of the judiciary, and there are going to be repercussions. Every government may end up coming with their own Chief Justice. There's all these dangers out there, but we haven't been listened to. So what do? We watch. It's a constitutional democracy. We'll see if what is going on will amount to the rule of law, and if posterity will prove us right.
Okay. But the choice, regardless of the process, constitutional processes which you have concerns about, what about the choice of nominee?
I'm not being personal. I'm just talking about the Constitution.
I agree.
If I start talking about the choice of the nominee, that will be personal. I'm not here to be personal.
He's a Chief Justice. I mean,
well, I don't want to get personal, so take me out. I'm looking at the Constitution.
Okay, we're wrapping the conversation.
I can assure you, no constitutional dictate is going to be sidestepped or being, I don't want to use a term that you might say that I shouldn't use that term, but I can assure you, the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is a chief protector of the Constitution. And he's mindful of the process, very, very mindful. And he has made sure that the Attorney General office, his legal counsel, you know, he has a legal officer who is advising him. The former Attorney General, you know, Marietta Brew, she's in the office there. This team of crack lawyers look at the process very well and advise him accordingly. The Council of State is very much involved in this process. So we are not going to disturb any constitutional dictate to make sure that the right process is followed through. We are not like the former administration. All these things that we are talking of, we saw it in this country. We were all here. That's why I said that it was like an Arab king was ruling this country. We all saw what was going on in this country. Where the president himself violated the Constitution, the Supreme Court made a ruling in respect of that. Nobody raised a figure because an Arab king was ruling this country. We saw it. The ruling about this LGBT thing, and then the removal of the then Auditor General. Were we not in this country?
Well,
what did the Ghanaians say about
so
it? So we are saying that we will
wrap
go
up the
that path.
conversation. Are
We
you
will make
introducing
sure
some taxes on Thursday?
Oh, wait, let's hear it.
Are you?
Don't
I mean,
be in
it's
a
not a
hurry.
surprise. It's
Don't
not.
be in a
It
hurry.
shouldn't be a surprise.
On 30th, you wait. You have seen how we have done the economy so far, 11 months, no scandal whatsoever. You've never seen this. In 1992, we started the process in 1992 up to now. Which government have you seen in this country 11 months down the lane and you've not seen a single scandal? Where is it?
Road.
See,
it's life-threatening. There's Sawem of Anko Road.
Monies have been disbursed, so they.
There is Sawem
of Anko Road.
It's life-threatening.
That's
and also
it's
not ongoing.
Winiba Road.
You are right. You are right.
Yeah, so
the ministry is doing something like that. The contractors were not paid. They were not given money. Government has just released some money.
They released it some months ago, but it's been a while, so I would have thought that progress.
Have to do something about it. You know, you can't just go and do shoddy work there. We have to make sure that they do the right thing. We're bequeathed with this kind of thing. So you are right. It's life-threatening. We are aware of that. The government is doing something about it. That's why we are saying that we have seen this before. It's just a matter of time that we don't have time to reflect on it.
The Mr. Capito has put his aboju for me this morning. But thank you so much for joining us on the news review on the show. Gloria, thank you so much.
I just don't want to engage with this one.
Well, Gloria Faribodu is lawyer and women's rights activist. And as well, we were joined by Kofi Capito, Executive Director, Consumer Protection, Victoria Bright, lawyer and entrepreneur, and Tanko Computer, CEO, Govt. Thank you so much. Please stay this more on the show. you so much for staying. You're watching the AM show, so still reminiscing the NSMQ that happened last week, and still heartbroken over our Pokowari, and quite excited for Infantipim. And over the weekend as well, they were on and on because they were back in their school celebrating the anniversary. Well, for those of you who didn't get to go to the centers, there were people behind the broadcast who made it possible for you to enjoy the entire season this year. And of course, they've come to visit us in studio. They may have some good news for you, what to look out for during the season. And this morning, I'm joined by Golda and Sashi's marketing executive, Syntex Tank, of course. And Syntex, I should say, because they don't just produce tanks. Well, Joshua Anomu Agbenu, business development manager as well, PR admissions checker as well, and Paul Eninakwa, country director, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. You know them as SIMA. Thank you, gentlemen and lady, for joining us in studio. Let me start with you, Paul. Which secondary school did you attend? Which one were you supporting?
At the Saddle College, at this school.
In ecosystem.
You see, NSMQ has been a good program, I mean, over the years. But you know, the year Adisco won, that is when it became so popular.
Oh, dear Lord.
Thank you.
Dear Lord. Joshua, what about you? What secondary school did you attend?
I would give the preamble that we are the huge heroes.
Exactly.
That year. And this year, we just decided to, partner Boche. I want to use the name Boche. And when you come to geography, Boche in Accra is closer to Lagos. So by reason of that, we just had to consider giving it out to Boche so that at least we can breathe in some good air this year and then come in next year to meet Boche and possibly at this school. Battle it out and then take back what is rightfully ours.
I think this is by far the best answer I've received from a per second. Hey, Murio. Golda, what about you? What secondary school did you attend?
So I attended a Palm Secondary School.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we couldn't make it to the finals.
Yeah.
We were actually throwing our support behind all the finalists. And I would like to use this medium to congratulate Infantipim School for defending their title and winning the National Science and Math Quiz.
I totally agree with you.
So from all of us at Syntex Ghana, we say we are proud of you. Keep making us proud. We'll forever support the National Science and Math Quiz.
So we keep supporting people. But anyway, Paul, so Sima, I grew up here in Sima today. Tell me about Sima and why you decided to be part of this year's NSMQ.
Okay, so CIMA stands for the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. We've been training management accountants across the world for over 100 years. We currently have over 600,000 members operating in about 150 countries. We are the only qualification, at least in the finance and accounting space, that has a fully digital learning platform for students, where students don't even have to go to the classroom, they don't have to buy textbooks. They can sit in my holy city, Achimewisa, and study CIMA from the beginning to the end and compete with somebody sitting in the US and stay in the same boardroom and perform at the same level. That is the qualification that we represent.
Okay. Yes. And why did you decide to be part of this year's NSMQ?
So, we train professionals, okay? So in the education space, that's where we play. And we thought that if you look at SDG 4, which is about inclusive education, we want to give everybody the opportunity to achieve their objectives. So it doesn't matter where you come from in the underprivileged communities, wherever, we will support you. So NSMQ is a popular brand, it's a strong brand. It doesn't matter that they are not doing accounting or finance, but we think that we can give people the opportunity to achieve whatever they want to do. In any case, you realize that a lot of people start school and they do science, they want to be doctors, they want to be engineers. But lots of them, after first degree, switch to the MBA schools, and they want a finance qualification. We think that CIMA provides them the opportunity to achieve their ambitions in the finance world.
That is why we support it. This is a big table you have decided to shake. Let me run away from you and go to Golda. Golda, tell me, I'm sitting here pretending not to know about Syntex.
Okay.
But tell me a lot more, what I know already and what people should know about Syntex.
Okay, so Syntex, as a brand, I think what people know us more for has to do with water storage tanks. But we are all about innovation. So for this year in particular, we have started producing our Syntex pipes. We have also produced the Syntex septic tanks. And in West Africa now, we have the biggest tank, that is at 35,000 liters. So yes, we have wheel beams as well. So it's not just about the water tanks and all of that. We are all about innovation when it comes to Syntex. And one of the reasons why we decided to come on board to sponsor the National Science and Maths Quiz was because the competition celebrates innovation, creativity, and intelligence. And these are values that Syntex truly stands for. So we found this a worthy cause to sponsor the National Science and Maths Quiz.
Okay. Well, I come back to you. Tell me how long you've been operating, and for you, Paul, as well. But Joshua, let me know about Admissions Checker.
Amazing. Admissions Checker is innovation in education, and it is a web application that we developed for senior high school students, especially for them, to help them with their transitioning into the tertiary spaces. Now, the problem that we identified within the transitioning process is that challenge of uncertainty and multiple costs that came with the university applications. And so almost always you found a senior high school leaver purchasing multiple forms. All right, you find a senior high school leaver buying forms for UCC, UPSA, Legon, GIMPA, with the hope that definitely one will come out successfully.
Sure.
But clearly that is some financial pressure on the parent or the guardian, on the student himself or herself catering for that. And so to solve that, we came up with Admissions Checker, such that all you do as a senior high school leaver or a senior high school student is to put in your WASSCE or NOVDEC results. Then you equally select the universities and then the courses that you desire to pursue. Then the system is able to tell you that MFA, Mensa, AMA, you know what, you have a higher chance of admission with maybe Legon for this course. You have a lesser chance of admission with maybe UPSA for that course. It can tell you for as many courses and universities that you want to check. And so with that, you are able to narrow down your application to just 1 or 2 universities, even if you so desire. You see that even before you go ahead to run your application.
That's really nice.
And there is an interesting thing to it. It is not limited to just the WASSCE or NOVDEC that the student is taking. Even in year 1, year 2, they can still check with their terminal results.
Okay.
Because at the time that I was in, or that year, in year 1, year 2, you already knew the schools that you wanted to get to. You get that. So that even becomes some self-assessment for you, the student, before you go ahead to take the WASSCE, take the NOVDEC, knowing very well that if you desire to be in a certain university and pursue a certain course, then these are the grades that you should even be getting. And I always say that it is a lived experience for myself and for our founder, Professor Kobe Mensah, and some other educationists that contributed to building this. Because at the time that I served as a student leader at the university level and a teaching assistant, time and time again, you would have parents and guardians calling you that, oh, are you sure my ward is going to get entry into this university? Will they get this course? It is a challenge. It's a whole lot of pressure, building up some level of anxiety. You see that? And so with this, the student is able to check through and know that, okay, I want to go to Legon, let me check with this. I want to go to UCC. This is the era of, zero cost, of you erasing the challenge of having to pay 200 cedis, 250 cedis for 3 or 4 forms.
And living on the edge and anxiety.
So that is the solution that Admissions Checker has presented to Ghanaians. Innovation created right here in Ghana.
That's
and
good to know.
It was a pleasure to be a part of the NSMQ broadcast sponsors.
Okay. I mean, Golda, how long has Syntex Ghana been operating?
Okay, so we've been operating close to 30 years. Yes, so let me just chip this in. When it comes to Syntex as well, we have the longest warranty on the market, which is 7 years.
Okay.
So when you purchase...
For all of the products?
For the tanks especially.
Okay.
Right, so when you purchase a Syntex tank, you know that you are sorted. Not that in a span of year 1 or year 2, your tank is going to develop a fault, there's going to be a leakage or something. No. Our tanks are produced with 100% virgin raw materials. So they are very durable. They can withstand all forms of weather conditions. So it's just Syntex.
Well, how long SIMA? How many years?
SIMA has been around for over 100 years.
Wow.
Yes, it's it's truly global qualification because we are in over 150 countries. So wherever you find yourself, you can study SIMA and practice as a SIMA professional.
Okay. What makes you stand out if there are competing brands out there?
Okay, so you see, I think that SIMA is the only finance an accounting qualification that develops the syllabus based on proper research. Okay, the last research we did it in 122 countries. Interviewed professionals, academics, and everybody who wants to know the worth of finance professionals. Okay, so they told us what they wanted, and we put it in our qualification. So we don't just put debits and credits together. We put in a qualification that is future ready, gets you ready to deliver for the future, not just for today. Then I also said, we have developed a qualification that provides you the power skills that you need for the future.
Right.
And the new knowledge economy, because times have changed, and you can't use those old school skills today. So we stand out. We stand out. CIMA is different.
For the few minutes that I have left for this interview, this Christmas, Bronya is coming. I've got to get some goodies for my people watching. Sure. What do you have for us?
Right, so for Syntex, as a way of appreciating our loyal customers, we will be having special discounts and giveaways. All you have to do is follow us on our various social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Syntex Ghana. And you can as well visit our website, www.syntexgh, to just stay updated. We have very mind-blowing deals coming your way, not just on the Syntex tank, but on our other products as well. Our wheel beans, our septic tanks, our Syntex pipes, as well as our big tanks and all of that. So just stay updated with us. Just be with us. Yes.
NSMQ is over, Joshua, but do you have some special offerings for people? If they want on the website now.
Oh, currently, no, but within the Christmas period, we sure to give out some free vouchers, gift vouchers. To some persons, some users who have really dedicated themselves to be helping on the platform and all that. So that they can equally get to check with that and check for their younger siblings and cousins and others who are not in the university.
So it's just a website, www.admissionschecker.
Yes, so you just put in admissionschecker.com. And then right away you are hooked in there.
Have you added more to your agents? Over 400 agents. Do you have more? Have you added?
Still counting.
Still counting?
Yes, we are. We are looking to expand. So before the first quarter of January, look out for it.
I'll find it and tell you. But people who want to register on CIMA, do you have some special?
So they can reach us on www.AICPA-CIMA.com.
Gentlemen, lady, thank you so much for joining us. And so none of you won, but well, thank you for helping us watch the broadcast live on Joy News.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you so much, Emma. So you're watching the AM show. Please stay. Thank you for staying with us. This is the AM show. So I've got good news for you. UNIMAC IFT, there's an open day coming, but we're not just going to be talking about the open day. Let's talk about UNIMAC IFT in general. And joining me in studio is Marian Mante. She is head of media PRO, UNIMAC IFT. And Ajete, an assistant lecturer, film artistic department, UNIMAC IFT. I'll try and get you the understanding of that one. Me too, Mintias here. Okay? Ajopra is lecturer, production, techniques department as well. Thank you so much for joining me in studio.
Thank you.
I was just having a little conversation with saying that, okay, there's been some measures, but for UNIMAC IFT, I'm here to also understand it even properly. But Ajo, let me come to you. Let me understand what the UNIMAC IFT is all about.
Viewers greetings from UNIMAC IFT. So UNIMAC IFT used to be NAFTI, and I'm sure we all know NAFTI, right? But sometime in 2020, there was a measure that occurred, and this measure brought about 3 main schools together. So I'm sure we know about GIJ, we know about Ghana Institute of Languages, and we also know about NAFTI. Now, these were strong institutions on their own, training students for over 40 years. But because we're coming together to form one media arts university, there were some modifications that occurred. So one of the things that we dropped as part of our brand and identity was to remove the national, from NAFTI. So it's still Institute of Film and Television. So when we say UNIMAC, You might think it's just GIJ or GIL, but we want to qualify it. So UNIMAC IFT is also known as NAFTI. Okay. But because we are going through the transition, you know, that's why you see UNIMAC IFT all over.
Okay, now that we've brought the message home, I know that you have seen somebody that is always popular on your screen. Yes, this time around, he has the chalk or the marker. And let's have a conversation. He's not acting, he's teaching you, he'll be marking your script, so pay attention. But since this measure for you, Mr. JT, would you say that for a lecturer, it was worth the purpose, it was worth the measure? I mean, we all have been quite hung on NAFTI for a while. Was it really worth the measure?
Well, I think we're still reaping the benefits. It's still early days yet, you know, because these institutions were independent before, and coming together, you know, that there'll still be some barriers along the way. But we've come far, and I believe strongly that it has also added to even our students who are coming up applying. So the numbers have grown. We're also leveraging on our strengths as well, so that you know, things that were considered a burden, you know, is taken off by other institutions who are maybe well versed in areas that the other may not be. So we've kind of like come together and helped each other. So I think that we're reaping benefits, and I'm hoping that you know, would in the coming years, you know, will
be much more bigger benefits.
More,
okay,
yeah.
I'll go around the table, and when I come to you, by the time I come to you, I'm sure we'd have discussed the courses, and then would hear from you. If they're not going to believe Ajwa and even Marian, at least take it from you why UNIMAC IFT should be the choice if they wanted to go to school for any similar course. But let me come to you. I know that for you, UNIMAC at IFT as well, you have an open day coming up.
Right.
Okay. What's this open day about? Would you share food?
Definitely. I know you'll be there, so I've made sure that you are on my VIP list so I can get you something nice.
Where there's food, I will.
Yes, so this is our second edition. Actually, we started last year as a pilot, and we noticed that it was very interesting to have the media fraternity coming in, and especially our targets, who are the senior high schools, the final year students who have to make a career choice on what they want to do at the university. You know, throughout the year we go for outreaches, and then we educate them on what we do. But it is very good for them, or it will be a very good thing for them to come in and then see what we do at FESA so that they understand, because our field is more specialized, and then, you know, it's a more practical career, and so it's good for them to come in and then see what we do. That is why we came up with the idea to open our doors to the general public, and especially to the senior high schools, to come in and then see at first hand. So for those who are studying visual arts, you know, those who are in the creative field, they will benefit a lot. Okay. And so last year we started and it was good, and then we want to implement it again this year.
Okay.
So come November, this Friday, we are opening our doors once again, and then we are expecting all these stakeholders to come on board.
What's this year's theme?
This year's theme is real connections, telling our stories together. Okay. I mean, the stories are not only told by us, as in the institute, but our stories are told with everybody around us, those who believe in the creative industry, those who believe that they've gone through the hands of NAFTI or IFT and have seen the benefits, are reaping the benefits. They should come so that we shall all tell the stories together. And so the doors are open this Friday, where we are going to be, this time we've extended it beyond what we even imagined. I mean, we're inviting a lot of the creative industries to come on board. We are also inviting the general public, our parents especially, we're inviting them to be here, because we go for outreaches and then most of the students are like, oh, my parent doesn't want me to do photography. They don't, you know, it's because of the understanding.
Right.
So we are encouraging parents to be there to come and see what we have and understand, and then see how the production designers are putting up their set, see how the special effects makeup is also going to, you know, give you some wow effects. Okay. See how new trends in the photography, the equipment that we are having, you know, how equipment have evolved from the big cameras.
That's a mini class you have on that day.
I'm telling you, it's a whole day from morning to evening.
Okay.
It's going to be fantastic. And of course, there'll be food, because our students will not be left out. They'll forfeit their lunch. You know the SS people, if you don't feed them, wahala.
What you're saying over here. Let me quickly go to Ajwa. Ajwa, it's important that we discuss some of the programs that you offer, the courses, right? Let me in on that.
Right. So at the UNIMAC IFT, We run certificate courses, diploma courses, and degree, and even the master's program. And we just started a PhD program too as well. We have a wide range of people in the industry, people who do not want to take a 4-year program. So if you don't want to take a 4-year program, we have a custom-made program for you, certificate program for you. Within like 3 to 6 months, you'll be done. You get all the training that you need to be able to work in an institution like this. And it would interest you to know that our certificate and diploma students are the ones who are actually carrying the TV stations all over the country.
Yeah.
You know, the director of the show is our student, and you know, it goes to our credit. So that tells you that when you come to NAFTI and you take a program, you're sure of internship that would actually lead to employment right after school.
Okay.
So when we move deeper into the courses that we do, we have film directing, we have television production, we have radio production, we have photography, we have sound production, editing, and we also have the broadcast arts as well. And we've also started a new program in AI, digital design and AI. So there are a lot of programs that we have. And all we're going to do on Friday is to showcase what we do.
Okay.
We showcase what we do in the stalls and the stands and the studios. But we also have old students who have passed through the system coming to tell you that, listen, I passed through this place and this is what I've become. So come join us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, at least you have an idea of the courses that are offered over there. If you're not going to believe it at all, let's go to Mr. GT. At all, let's go to him. I mean, you agree that there's been that influx of small media schools and some corner store like they're selling wachi, which is almost becoming a problem.
Yeah.
Why should people make this one their choice?
I mean, why not IFT? I mean, like Ajwa did say, you know, we're very proud that, you know, almost every media institution out there currently in Ghana, you'd find a NAFTI graduate. Our students are very much in high demand. But I think that what makes us even unique and makes us stand out is not that we're equipping our students with just skill sets, but we're very, you know, particular about them being responsible for the choices that they make. And so in terms of discipline, you know, we know when it comes to even the, you know, putting this program out there, punctuality is a one thing that you don't joke with. So how punctual you are, workplace, you know, relationships, and how people comport themselves, how disciplined they are. There's so many people who are equipped with skills, but they bring a lot of wahala to their establishments because, you know, they're not disciplined. And so we having that measure of skill sets and discipline is one of the things that you definitely get at IFT, and therefore it's your first choice, and that's why I'm also there.
Plus you're a teacher there. Plus he's lecturing over there. Right. Imagine after lectures you can take a selfie with your lecturer. That's what else do you want? But Marian, maybe finally on that day, what time? You mentioned that parents, you mentioned that young SS graduates, forgive me, can be there. But what's the call? What's the call to duty on that day?
Right, so this Friday, we are inviting everybody, stakeholders. We're inviting all our alumni fraternity. We are also inviting the creative industry to be there. 10 a.m. We're going to start with a very short opening where our guest speaker, you know, will be sharing her speech. And then our chairperson happens to be an alumna who is the general manager for ADOM. And he's also, Abu Abdullah is our chairperson, and we are so grateful that he's offered to chair our open day for us to inspire the students as well. So by 10 a.m. we're going to have a very short opening, and then we are going to now move into the faculty exhibitions, and so we see what our lecturers and our departments have to offer. We also have sponsors exhibition. I mean, we have some supporters who came in to be exhibiting their wares, and also we have vendors also exhibiting. So we're going to tour around the campuses. We have various stands, Studio 2. We go there to see what is happening there, and then we go to the main studio to see what is happening there. There'll be film screenings as well of selected student films that will cut across for everyone to enjoy as well, to inspire the young ones of what they should expect when they come and study with us.
And that's on
Friday,
14th,
10 a.m.
Yes. Okay, don't miss. Is there a place they can go there and then also read beyond watching this interview on the website?
On our website, the UNIMAC IFT website, and then you can have it. You can also engage us on our social media platforms on Facebook and on Instagram. and then you find all the promos that are going down. Yeah.
Okay. If you want to be like Ashilevi in my ears, it's time, please. Let's go for a break. That's my director in my ears. Please go to Unimac IFT. But thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Marion, as well. And all the best on Friday. Please stay. There's still more on the show. Thank you. Thank you so much for staying here, watching the AM show. So on the 13th of November, the Faculty of Accounting and Finance will be awarding or recognizing some very important people. And this morning, we're joined by the team or the brain behind this idea. We're joined by Dr. Eric Boachi Yadom and also Mrs. Ejay Asamwa. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, MFA, for having us.
So I just thought that awards are only for some sectors. And then I saw this where Professor Abiodi was talking about this. I said, okay, I'm quite curious about it. But tell me about the FAF Eminent Achievement Awards.
Thank you, MFA. The Faculty of Accounting and Finance, which is the oldest faculty in the UPSA.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And we play a key role in nurturing and training the next generation of industry leaders. So we have basically few disciplines. You know, we have the accounting department, banking and finance, we have economics and actuarial science. So as a training institution, we also watch the industry, you know, and we know our students are all over various aspects of the industry. So we're looking at key people that have contributed to the growth of the disciplines that we train students for, to honor them and recognize their contribution, so that it will be a lesson to our students and also existing current industry players. So the team put up this program together to honor eminent people that I'm sure will have the time to talk about each of them and their contribution to the industry. This is going to be an annual program. However, this is the maiden one.
Okay.
And we have selected 4 key industry players that we are awarding them. Basically, this section, we are looking at insurance and banking. Maybe next year we may be looking at accounting and economics.
Accounting and economics, that's
we want to touch on every aspect of the discipline within the Faculty of Accounting and Finance.
Okay. Charlotte, I mean, let me in on this year's theme. It's your maiden edition, all right? And it's really important that when you set the tone and the theme, subsequent years can fall out from that. What's this year's theme?
Thank you very much, MFA, for the opportunity. And then we are so again, happy as a faculty, as my senior has already said. The theme for this year, as said, we know that we are awarding these prominent people who have really contributed to the industry.
Right.
Especially, which of course, when we look at our faculty and then the students that we are training, they are definitely going to help us, or they are going to encourage the students to be able to move in and to know that that which they are doing, definitely tomorrow or the next day, they are going to be rewarded as a body. So this year's team, it's awarding eminent people, eminent people within the industry. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if I may add to what my colleague just said, you know, we want to focus on the achievement of these. So we said that this year we are recognizing the trailblazers of the banking and insurance sector, you know, and we are driving excellence and transformation. You agree with me that especially the financial sector have gone through challenging times from 2018, you know, and some of these guys were at the helm of affairs within those turbulent times. And we know some banks that didn't survive. So if somebody has been able to steer the affairs of a bank through a challenging time to survive, you know, the person needs some level of recognition. We understand there are a lot of industry players that actually also contributed in helping. But for now, we want to focus on them subsequently.
We agree totally, Doc. This one there, we totally agree. When I come back to you, Charlotte, let me come to you. When is this happening? 13th November, but where will it happen?
We're having it at COCA, that is a Kofi Ohene Kunidu Auditorium. That is exactly 4 p.m.
at the auditorium. That is the main auditorium. We call it the Coca.
Okay.
So,
okay. Are you selling tickets or people can just walk in?
No, we're not really walking in as anybody at all. Definitely, we're selling tickets. So if you're watching and then you want to join, I think on the flyer we have the contact numbers and the name, so you can call in, and then the tickets are available.
Okay.
Yes.
We've actually just put the flyer up there for you to take any information that you need. It's happening 13th November.
13th.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. at the main auditorium, the Coca.
Okay. And who's chairing this? On whose auspices are you doing this?
Okay.
So the Vice Chancellor of the University of Professional Studies is the key person for this particular program. But in his stead, the Dean of the faculty, in the person of Professor Isaac Body, who is the one hosting. Because it's a faculty affair, he will be hosting. But we have eminent personalities who will chair the program, like Nana Appiah-Jane Dakawoso, who is the Omahin chairman of Jabin traditional area. He will be chairing, adding some royalty, to the whole celebration. And I should mention that in the 9th also, one of our students, Kwabena, will be performing live. So if you want to listen to good music, and also we have Seprawa performing. There'll be a lot of the military band will also be there. So there'll be fun, mess with the awards, and we want to encourage the public to come and witness what will be happening on the 13th. Okay,
and finally, students, what will students gain from this? I heard Doc say that you want to celebrate those who have been very instrumental to that particular department, but for students as well, what will be their takeaway from that?
Thank you very much for that. Sorry, we know that students sometimes, and then even now, currently, people think that going to school is some way, somehow, just a waste of time. People, that is the perceived idea, because they think that after the school, what is ahead of me? What is the work I'm going to do? But awarding eminent people like this who have passed through the faculty, or who knows what the faculty is about, and they are still working. Some of them are still producing, and they are still impacting the industry. You realize that as a student, when you see this, it is a very good motivation for you.
Absolutely.
You know that you are not at the wrong place. Absolutely. And that's what you are doing. The profession that you find yourself in, it's worth it.
Okay. Finally for me, Doc, how would you say that this particular event, how does this sit in the broader picture, vision of UPS, especially because you're a senior lecturer at the Banking and Finance Department? How does it sit in the bigger picture?
UPSS stands for two things: scholarship with professionalism.
Exactly.
So, in as much as we are giving knowledge, we also expect our students to be professional. So we want them to see a certain image, a trailblazer to follow, and you have the opportunity of also listening to these eminent people. We'll be awarding on the 9th Al-Hassan Andani. Now Al-Hassan Andani is part of the people we are awarding. We'll be awarding Mr. Frank Edu of Car Bank, and we'll be awarding Mr. Edu Edefa of Fidelity Bank. And we have Mr. Wilfred Kwesi Dojiu, who is currently the Secretary General for EOCO Brown Card Insurance. So having these people being part, and it's also a way of bringing the industry closer to the university so that they can also impart the next generation. So in the broader context of the UPSA, it is a way of promoting our scholarship with professionalism. And of course, you know that UPSA is the only professional university in Ghana, and we want to partner closely with the industry.
Perfect. Thank you so much for letting us know what's happening on the 13th of November. Yes. It will be happening at the Coca Auditorium, as you have said, 4 p.m. You don't want to miss it. We're joined by Dr. Eric Boakye-Iadom, Senior Lecturer, Banking and Finance Department, as well Mrs. Charlotte Eje Asamoah, Lecturer, Accounting Department. Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm nearly wrapping the show, but I've got one big one for you. Please stay.